Hey guys, Gabe Eltaeb here. It's double impact. Today is Tuesday the what? Tuesday the what? Yeah, I know the lighting is terrible on that. Tuesday the 27th of Janvier, as they say in Francais. Welcome in, guys. I don't know where Jericho is. Did he even get the link? I don't set these up. I have an assistant that sets these up for me. Yes, you'll notice I'm sitting in a different spot here. It's a drawing board behind me, this computer over there. I'm not sitting in the typical spot, so I'm tired. I was in Palm Springs for a little 2-day jaunt out there with the missus, in Palm Springs. I'm tired because the bed was uncomfy. I gotta tell you, the bed was uncomfy, but it's all good. Should I play the intro song? I think I'll play the intro song. Let's do that. Let's go into media assets. I'm using my iPad today. I'm not using my desktop. Okay, I'm gonna play the intro. So just get over it. All right, guys, I'm back again. It's Gabe Eltaeb. How you doing? Welcome in. Hit the like, hit the share. Guys, I have some very exciting things. Let me bring up the comments. I have some very exciting things to share with you guys. I want to show you some awesome stuff that I have. This is the most fun I've had in forever making a comic. I love variant covers. You guys, y'all know. Oh, wait, Jericho just texted me. Let's see what he said. He's logging in right now. Do you guys know what a variant cover is? That means we make it a comic book. I hate this light reflecting off there. We make it a comic, and then we make different covers. So it's all the same story, but we have este cover. That's drawn by me, colored by me. These are all colored by me. We have this cover here. These are so exciting. This is thrilling, action-packed, bold adventure. You guys are going to just love this thing. My buddy Philippe did this one. Again, I do all the colors on these. And the books, they already exist, guys. And Philippe did this one as well. And then, oh, here he is. Here he is. Hold on. We'll bring him in. Hold on. How do I add this thing? There he is. Jericho's here. But I'll just continue real quick. This one by my old buddy, we used to do one together, Jackson Herbert. We did some old stuff. So I thought I'd do a book with the females on the cover, and then the Unstoppable Tyrus by Joe Bennett, former Incredible Hulk artist, and me. So he did the loose pencils, I did the color, and that's a fold-out cover. I'll show you the whole thing. And then we also offer a 20-page concept art behind-the-scenes book. You guys will love that too. A little bit of talking about how this works, why we do it, how it works, and all that fun stuff. So yes, action. If you love bold action, if you love insane, muscle-bound heroes smashing the crap out of evil villains, saving the beautiful woman, then go to bigmancomics.com to find out more. I want to show you that fold-out cover, though, because it's a beauty. And then I'll say hello to my guest. My co-host. You like that light shining really hard off my desk behind me?
Yes, right into my eyeballs.
Yeah, I got to fix that. I'll fix that soon.
Oh,
I will fix that. I'll fix it post-haste, as they used to say in the old days. Let me turn my camera off and fix that right quick. Hold on. How do I turn my camera off? Tell me what you're up to. I guess.
Well, when you said post-haste, that reminded me when I was younger how cool it was to find out what PS means and AM and PM and all that kind of shit. You know, back when you had to talk to people to figure shit out, I was like, oh, ante-meridian, post-meridian, you know, postscript. I was like, that's what that shit means. Damn it.
Right.
The old way we used to get information. Long time ago, kids. Don't worry about that. It was a long time ago.
Or where does the word
but you know what?
Ampersand come from?
Ampersand? I don't know.
I believe that was and per se, I believe, but I could be wrong about that. You read a lot of shit on the internet, and who knows? Let me show you this real quick. So that one cover you were saying was this by Joe Bennett. He did the pencil. I did the ink and the color. That's called a gatefold cover, and it's like this. So the front of the book and the back of the book is a full-on cover. So this is just a proof print that I have here. The real books are right here in these plastic collector's bag of board. You put the comic inside of a sleeve with a card stock to preserve it for the collector market. But yeah, this is that gatefold cover. Love this one. It's a wraparound cover. So yeah, very cool. Let me head it go back on the screen.
So to understand what pencil and color means, looking at that, what would it look like without you penciling it?
Without me inking it?
Or inking it. Yeah. Inking it.
It looks like a pencil drawing, but it's loose and many of the details aren't complete yet because the guy doing the pencil is leaving work for the inker to do. He's leaving stuff in there, textures, hair. Sometimes they'll leave big stuff. They'll just indicate something with the pencil. That was done going way back, almost 100 years ago in comics, because it was like an assembly line. You had a penciler, then you had an inker, and then you had the coloring was a low tech in the old days. They would do ruby lith. That's like this plastic sheeting. You cut shapes, and you would just cut shapes, and then you would have this chart where you would indicate what color of the CMYK and the percentages, because it was just like that. It was very basic stuff. So it wasn't so much of an art, the coloring in the old days. It was more just big chunks to get colors down. You know what I mean? But now we're fully painting the books digitally. You know, if you zoom way in here, you can see that, I'm rendering light and shadow and reflections and flame and electrical. She's got electrical stun baton. And, we're fully rendering it. So, but yeah, the pencils, I guess I could find a way to bring some up. But I'm using my iPad to do the broadcast, and it is not as robust as the desktop. So it's hard to bring up that other screen and all that stuff. So I'm not sure. Let me check these comments here right quick. Wildcats 420. I'll probably get the concept art very cool. Thanks, Wildcat. You'll love it. If you are an artist yourself or just a big admirer of art, which if you're watching me, I suppose you are, then you're going to really love something like that. It's really fun. You get to see behind the scenes, raw ink, no color, stuff like that. I always put that out with every book I do. I call it whatever book I'm doing, raw. So I just add raw to the title. So this is a pencil drawing of Tyrus that I just did one day. Just expressly, I did it for the cover. So if you look, I have it right here with me, the original. So this is just a pencil cover. And you can see those pencil strokes in the beard and all that. And there's a mistake or two because it hasn't been inked yet. And I never wanted to ink this one because I wanted it to be raw to be the cover. So I just scanned it. You can see my scanner is actually this device right here. It's a flatbed scanner that's big enough for 11 by 17. So if you take two pieces of typing paper and you put them like that, horizontally, but then stack them on top of each other, that's how big comic book pages are. Twice the size of typing paper. So it's 11 by 17 Bristol board. Bristol board is pretty thick. An index card, can you hear that?
Oh, yeah. She's thick.
It's really nice, thick paper. I like a little bit of a surface, but I also work on the smooth vellum surface. But yeah, if you love art, you want to be an artist, you're just a big admirer, then yeah, for sure, you'll love our concept art book. And it has a lot. It has some notes from me, but mostly it just has the raw black and white art in it, so you can check that out. But yeah, if you love what you see, go ahead.
You ever thought about doing a black and white book?
You know what? I was reading Jim Lee. He's the boss at DC Comics. He's the most influential comic artist of the last 30 years. And he was the guy that hired me. He was my favorite artist when I was 12 years old. And he had the studio here in San Diego, Wildstorm. It was the studio. He sold it to DC Comics. And he was just quoted this week or last week in the comic book news saying that manga, Japanese comics, has some definite advantages over American comics. The biggest one being is it's every topic. So Japanese comics are like movies. You're like, what if all movies were Westerns? What would you think of that, right? Like, well, I want to see a sci-fi. I want to see a military. I want to see history. Nope, they're all Westerns. That's the problem with the American comic companies, Marvel and DC Comics. It's all superheroes, and they're all related. If you buy The Flash and Batman and Wonder Woman, they're all in the same universe. So it's really one big book. You know what I mean? It's one giant coherent universe. And that has its pluses, and there's fun things about it. But what if I just want a Western and I don't have to worry about, oh, how is the cowboy going to get out of this? Well, Superman can come and save him. Like, you don't want Superman in that universe because now it changes the rules of your Western, right? So that's the big difference with manga. And the other thing you asked about black and white, I think I'm going to do black and white because they're cheaper to publish and faster. And the Japanese comics are black and white. And they're cheaper. And Japanese comics are done by what we call a mangaka. And that's the author. And the guy that writes it almost always draws it. And they'll have a team of guys to draw the buildings and the backgrounds and the other stuff so they can turn out 10 or 20 pages a week. In American comics, we're turning out 3, 4, 5 pages a week on a good week. Now, I'm fast, and the guys I work with are fast. We're doing 10 every week and a half. But in Japanese, they're finishing 10, 20 a week. We're just drawing 10 in a week and a half at my company. We're not even coloring.
Now, that can't just be because they're doing black and white, is it? Like, why are they cranking out so much efficiency?
It'll be a team. So one guy will like draw all the characters and just kind of indicate, okay, there's a car here, there's a building here. And other guys will his job is drawing buildings. So he's just bang, 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 just drawing the buildings. Another guy, you know what I mean? So they'll have a team of illustrators. And a thing about American comics that is unusual, and it's very American because we're independent as American people, right? Is that if I draw Bugs Bunny, they hired me to draw Bugs Bunny. I have to draw them the way that they draw Bugs Bunny, right? I can't draw my own version where the face is different or something, right? That's called on model. So the exact lines and the exact proportion for Bugs Bunny, I have to copy it as an artist. In American comic books, that is frowned upon. You draw a Punisher your way. I draw him my way. That guy draws him his way. And if you draw like me, you get booed. You're copying Gabe. That's Gabe's Punisher, blah, blah, blah. It's the only art that's like that. It's very weird where American comics don't draw like the other guys, what they tell you. And in the Japanese stuff, it's like, no, if I'm going to help draw One Piece or Dragon Ball, I have to draw it on model. I have to draw it the way the original author wants it drawn. And there's something to be said for that, for efficiency and consistency for the customer too. So it's a very unique thing about American comics. I told you this before, that in American comics, there's a frowning on mentorship. If someone is like my guy, like Bill, or my buddy Philippe, my mentors, I take mentors. But for some reason, American comic artists, they don't want it. I taught myself to draw. Everything's me, me, me. I did it all myself. I had no mentors. Philippe does layouts for me, dude. Tyrus, Truth, Justice, like he lays out, he draws pages, not fully, but he gives me an idea. Okay, do this, and then I do the finished artwork. You know what I mean? And yeah, he animated at Disney when I was a kid. You know, he drew comics 10 years before I started. Like, yes, he knows more than me. I should, you know, it's the master and the apprentice. If you were 100 years ago learning to, you know, tan leather or shoe horses, wouldn't you go work in the stable with the master and he would show you, right? So I don't know why American comic books despise the master and apprentice. I don't know what that is. I don't. I think it's foolish, and I couldn't be happier to have older mentor artists showing me the ropes. I learn, like the way bamboo grows, when I'm working with Philippe or a guy like Bill or Doug TeNapel, my friends that are 10, 15 years older than me, and I'm asking them questions, it's insane how much I learn and how much I can improve. So that's a weird thing. So yeah, I want to go in a Japanese approach for some of my books, and I think I will do some black and white ones where we can turn out a lot of artwork quickly. I would love to do that.
And it adds a grittiness to it. It adds, I guess that's the best sort of grittiness. The black and white, and that leaves a little more to your imagination to kind of fill in the colors and stuff like that. But
right,
I like that. I like that black. But I'll say something that could be controversial. I don't know. I don't care. But this is the way I feel. I've never been a fan of these alternate universe characters, like Superman, if he ended up being an asshole and he was wearing his costume is black with the red S now, or Batman, there's one where he got hurled into into the past to feudal Japan, and now he's a fucking Batman samurai. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that, but the way I'm introduced to a character, that's just how it is for me. Superman, you know, just as an example, Superman is blue, red, yellow S. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it. I guess I'm open to it if it's done right, but I don't know.
I agree with you. I'm a purist. There's like baseball purists that don't want the rules changed and all that. I'm a purist, and I see that for what it is. It's a little bit of creativity to have a Western or a samurai Batman. It's a lot of marketing, because if we have a Western Batman and a scuba Batman and a jungle Batman and an outer space Batman, guess how many action figures we could sell?
Right? But you're watering down Batman.
Right. Yeah, I as an artist, I don't agree with it. As a businessman, I see what they're doing, but it's a shortcut. You could, if you worked harder and just made more original stuff that was also compelling, and you have the skills, you know. So there's the other way you can go. So you can go American comics in the middle. You can go to Japanese comics, black and white, turn them around fast. Then you can go to the European model, the bande dessinée. That's the French. This is thick hardcover. This is one writer, one artist.
Yeah, that's a damn textbook.
Watercolor, silver foil embossing on the cover. This is an art piece. The book itself, not even when you open it, but the book itself is a piece of art. You see this back here is canvas. You know, this orange is canvas. This is gold reflective type on here. These are some Mickey Mouse adventures that are absolutely gorgeous. And in Europe, this is what they do. It's called bande dessinée. America, comic books are a joke in some regard that they're for kids, and they're just lowbrow entertainment for kids. And in Japan, they're like movies. Are movies for kids? Yeah, but they're for everyone. And in Europe, comics are that way too. They're for everyone. And there's just something about America, and I can tell you why. My friend Mike told me this. Mike Barron is my friend. He's like 75 years old, and he was the premier writer of like The Punisher. He wrote The Flash. He wrote all kinds of characters, and he still does independent comics. But he's 75. He's been doing this for 40-something years. And he said a big problem that happened in the late 70s, early 80s is all the goobers from the back of the comic book store that would argue, the real nerd guys that would, actually, the Flash is faster than Quicksilver, blah, 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 blah. Like these guys that are like Dwight Schrute kind of personality. Those guys, too many of them got jobs at Marvel and DC as editors. So it's reflected in the output of the company as everything is superheroes and superhero, because that's what they love, these super nerdy guys. And all the Westerns are dead. All the military stuff is dead. Now, if you go to Image Comics or Dark Horse Comics, these other companies that are more second tier, third tier publishers, they do everything. And I would say comics, nothing can do what comics do. Movies can't, music can't, TV can't. Comics are, I think, I'm biased, I think it's the most impressive art form, because I think the most impressive art is drawing. Name me an art form more impressive. Acting, impressive, not as impressive as drawing. Dancing, yeah. Singing,
but singing, I think, is
like
is it? But like singing, can you train somebody to sing? I think more of a framework has to be there when it comes to singing.
To a degree,
but you can't.
To a degree, you can train people to sing, but you can't train someone to sing like Freddie Mercury. That's the instrument he was born with. The ratio of the muscle tissue and the bone and the tendons and his lungs, and just the way he's set up like an instrument, he's going to get more out of it than other people. But you could train everyone to sing competently. They could sing in the church choir. They could sing at the city jamboree picnic or whatever.
Yeah, we'll get you to the county fair. I'll get you there.
Yeah, we'll get you there. They'll have a 3-octave range. But the Freddie Mercury, 8 octaves, you can't teach that. That's like
dude, that was opera. Freddie Mercury was singing opera.
Yeah, you could teach anyone to be a competent basketball player. You can't teach anyone to be 7 feet tall. No. So that's just how it is. But I think illustration is the most impressive art. I don't think there's anything more impressive than drawing. When you can create worlds, you can create people. They're not even real, and they're as real as anyone you know. And it's just oil paint, just pigment, just grease. That's all it is. But somehow it comes to life.
It's a physical thing that you can see. Like music, yes, it invokes different feelings. You hear it, but you can't, like, if I wrote out a bunch of music notes to a song that I wrote, it's fucking gibberish. You're not going to care about that. But if you draw a story, yeah, that's a different connection, a stronger connection. I wouldn't say better, because song music that'll get you. You know, who's cutting onions?
But I think this: how many people can sing really well, and how many people can draw really well? There are way more people that can sing really well than can draw really well.
Well, what are we saying really well? Are we talking like you said, Freddie Mercury, Whitney
Draw
Houston?
at a professional level. How many people can do what I do? How many people can do what me?
I'd say both for a singer that parallels your talent, that's equal to your level of talent, but in singing, I would say they're both equally as rare. Because yeah, you could get me to, like you said, the church choir, but am I going to be fucking making fucking chills go up your back? No fucking way. I think they're both equally rare to have somebody who, like I said, you play the national anthem by Whitney Houston, you're probably going to cry. Your eyes are going to get foggy. You're going to get a lump in your throat. So I'm talking that level. I would say you're
part was, in the land of the free, and everyone starts going, "Woo!"
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's fucking.
It gets quiet for a second. Kendo.
It was crazy. Not Carl Lewis.
Then when people have the fucking temerity to fuck with the national anthem.
No, don't.
What about
don't.
Who's the Carl Lewis?
No. Uh-oh. I'll make up for it. No, you fucking won't, Carl.
No, you won't. Let me get this damn
you
light.
Won't.
I've never used my iPad before, and the way I'm sitting is just brutal with that light there. So
you liar.
Okay, that
liar, Carl Lewis.
Better. There you go. It's just me.
Jeez Louise.
Guess who snuck his way back on the show, Jericho?
Well, as long as it's in picture form, he can stay. Yeah. That's fine.
Well, you never know. You never know. You might pop in.
We know hello. His band. He's still banned. We know that. We will always know where he is.
You never know. I feel like I just saw him. Saw him.
I feel like.
Did you see that?
I feel like that too.
That was weird.
Yeah.
I feel like he's everywhere. He's always watching.
Yeah. Through that picture, when you're not looking, there's the eyes are cut out on that poster.
Like Scooby-Doo. The eyes in the oil painting are just like looking around.
Yeah, except it's Steven Seagal and not Scooby-Doo.
I love when I found out that Steven Seagal was a menace on the movie set, allegedly, like injuring the stuntman.
Yeah,
he broke Sean Connery's wrist trying to teach him moves. So it's like of course he does shit like that. Like, of course he does.
Well, I did hear that a guy who was another martial artist was security for somebody else on some movie set and ended up choking Steven Seagal out and he shit himself.
I heard a rumor. That's not true. I heard that forever, and then I heard he didn't poop himself. So
but do you want it to be true? Do you want it to be true?
I don't know. I have a book right there. I won't grab it because it's under 5 other books, but it's an insane stuntman from Hollywood, and he talks about that story in there, and he says it isn't true. But it's the
shitting or the choking out?
The shitting.
Oh. The shitting. Well, I'll take a choke out. That's fine. If you're an asshole like that, yeah, you deserve a good choking out. You deserve to wake up with your head thumping.
It's like 400 pages thick. Stephen Lambert, From the Streets of Brooklyn to Halls of Hollywood. This is look at this epic. But yeah, he talks about working with everyone on every freaking movie. He was a stunt guy, and it's a weird book. I don't know who did the graphic design on it, but the writing's way too big and it's way too close to the top. So this is that in art. My brother and I have a joke called MBDT. Whenever you go to a restaurant and the menu is ugly, or you go somewhere and they painted a child and the child's like ugly, or you go to a restaurant and they have a mural and the mural just looks like, amateur hour. That's MBDT. That means my brother did this. It's when
my brother's a designer
company, when a family-owned business needs artwork and they hire someone's cousin who has Photoshop, you can usually tell. Hire a professional.
Yeah, he edited some photos for your mom once.
Right. Yeah.
He edited some photos one time, giving the keys to the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you wonder because, okay. So last weekend, my friend and I and his son and my son, we went to a Sacramento Kings game.
Oh.
And his company hooked him up with the ticket, so you got to go to the VIP room with this, nice food, and everything's free, and we had really good seats. It was like courtside seats, a little walkway, and then our seats. Like it was nice. We were right there, and close enough to yell, and the players could hear you. And there was a big picture in there. Huge picture. It had to be like 8 feet tall. I don't know how many feet wide. It was giant. It was the center of this whole wall, and it was Madonna. And she was like, something like this, and her little beauty mark and shit like that. You could see it was her. Pretty innocent. She wouldn't do nothing provocative or anything like that. But it was kind of the. She would do
something completely debased and blasphemous, like she usually does. I've never been able to stand Madonna. It's like, we get it, bitch. You're just trying to be controversial.
Well, she lost me when Trump got elected. That whole thing. She decided to blindfold herself and carve her face all up. But there was a big picture of her in there. And I was like, kind of looking at it. Because, you'll hear people say that you'll look at some piece of art and you're like, this looks like shit. I don't understand it. And like, oh, no, it's abstract. And like, blah, blah, blah. And I understand that. But as the viewer, I should still be able to understand what you're trying to convey.
As the resident art expert on this show, let me educate you about abstract art. Jackson Pollock, you've heard of him, right?
The jizz guy.
The splattered poo-poo everywhere.
Yeah.
That, according to my sources, was CIA-funded demoralization, destabilization campaign. That isn't really art, but they put money behind it. And you know that children's fairy tale, that The Emperor's New Clothes?
Yeah.
You've heard this, or everyone in the audience, I'm not going to tell you the story, but everyone look it up. These scam artists, I'll tell the story. The scam artists come to town, they build the emperor they sew him a new robe and cape, and that's all. They don't do anything. They're just doing it in the air. And he walks down the street butt naked. But all the people on the street are like, oh my gosh, his clothes. That's abstract art. That's modern, postmodern art, where it is fucking shit. It doesn't take any skill. It's not innovative. It's not saying anything important. There's no truth. There's no beauty, which is what art is. And it is for degenerates. And it is intentional from lefties, commies, and all that. It is to destroy truth and beauty. Because if you can get people to believe any sort of ridiculous lie, you can get them to believe anything. And then they'll do whatever, you'll do whatever they say.
Yeah.
So if I can get you to believe that a man is a dog, even though he clearly isn't, I'm talking about something else, then you'll believe anything. You'll just believe any fucking thing I tell you. And if I can splatter paint all over a canvas and tell you it's a fine work of art that demonstrates the tension between right and wrong and the historical injustices between no, it's not art. It's not art. Sorry, it's a scam and brainwash.
If you don't understand it, you're lowbrow. You're too dumb. You don't get it. You're just not on our level. I'm like, but no, that looks like. That looks like dog shit. I don't but wouldn't you, with your art, comic books, don't you want the people to understand what you're putting out there? Not like, oh, you just don't get it.
Well,
like, no, fucking, I should get it.
Here's the thing about abstract art. When you're little, when I was a little kid, before I became a real artist and went to school and learned about art, you think abstract art means crazy, messy art. And I think the general population, their whole lives, they think that. But if you become an artist and you learn terminology and you learn how to think about art and how it's made, you realize that abstract art is very good art. And what Jackson Pollock was doing is not abstract art. If you abstract something, it's the same word as to distill. You're simplifying. So Bunny is abstract art. You think abstract art is weird art? No, it's simplified. And the greatest skill of an artist is to simplify. If I can get an idea to you at a supreme level in the least amount of lines when I draw, that shows true mastery on my part. There's a signal to noise ratio, right? Like a radio. You're tuning the radio. Bzz, 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 hey, welcome to WKO5, the meat, or whatever it is. When you tune into the radio, you're finding that signal to noise. So when I'm drawing, too many lines is noise. Less lines is signal. I've got to get the idea out of my brain and into your brain. The less lines, the better. But the challenge of abstraction is what lines and what line and other line. Because a line is never a line. It's a line plus the lines around it. how thick, how thin, how heavy, how dark, how light. Everything is relative to the human mind. The way we process visual information is not optical like a camera. A camera is optical, just light, just levels of light and dark and color. Our brains process it relative to everything that's around it. That's why your phone, just we'll make up a number. Your phone can be set at a brightness of 70 and you can't see it out on the sidewalk at noon. At night in bed, it's like, it's the exact same amount of illumination. But since it's so dark around you, your irises are opening and contracting, light and color and all that. And not just in art, in visual, in writing, in music, everything is about the things around it. It's always context. It's how human beings understand everything. So abstraction is about how can I get Jericho's face and draw it in the least amount of lines possible. That's what I want to do, because that'll get the cleanest message over to someone else. So abstract art is not what Jackson Pollock was doing. What he was doing was bullshit. That was bullshit. So
it just looks like fucking gobbledygook. It just looks. I feel there is a difference between artists and people who aren't. If everybody could draw on this amazing level, it wouldn't be special. So I feel like I should be looking at something that I can't duplicate. But if I can just dip a brush and fucking fling it around and you can't tell which is Pollock and which is me, that's fucking bullshit. That's not high level art. It's something I can fucking do.
Take Jackson's conclusion, okay? And I'll prove to you that it's not art. And you already agree, but I'll prove it to everyone listening. What if we had abstract basketball? I just bounce the ball off my face, hit it off my knees, throw it into the stands, I win. Right? Just do whatever with the basketball and then I win. No, there's logic, there's order, there's structure. And art is the main thing that touches you so deeply in your spirit, in your soul, in your mind, in the emotional part of the brain. So you don't treat art logically. No human being does. It doesn't feel like math. It doesn't feel like logic. Very bad news for all of you. Art is logic. It's math. That's all. That's all it is. The art itself. Now, what it means to us is deep and emotional and spiritual. But when I make you a piece of art, there are mathematical rules to the shape, the proportion, the dark, the light. It's just math. Now, what I do with that math will touch you deeply. And I mean deep.
Super deep. Like roll your sleeve up deep.
Yeah. Hey, lady, you're gonna want to listen, lady, you're gonna want to take a step back. You're gonna need some room here.
Hey, lady, I'm gonna have to take my watch off.
Right. But the art itself is just a math problem. That's all it is. What I do with that math can change your life, can touch you in ways that nothing else can, because it's going to the logic, right? The cortex, the front. It's also going to the subconscious. It's going right in there. You're experiencing it as reality. When you see this hero fight this monster, those are real living beings that really exist, and what they did really happened. And then you make an evaluation on that in your mind and say, well, that hero, Luke Skywalker, was outnumbered and he just had faith in his powers with the Force and all this, and he was brave. And he took on the whole Imperial Navy and he won. And then you extrapolate that to your life of like, I should be brave. You know, and that's the point of storytelling, is to entertain. But then it always has a message. And there's no way to not have a message in a story. All stories have a message, whether they intend to or not, because if something happens and you see it happen, you're going to have an opinion on it. So all stories have a message. Let's see. Deep to the square root. Love it when we get a deep math discussions. Is there anything more boring than math? I fucking hate math. And by the way,
I can't. Never did. Never like that.
By the way, I'm very good at math. I despise it though. I don't know. It's just not my thing. Heather said, "Beautiful." I am beautiful. Next comment here. I have to lean in. I'm not wearing my glasses, and this is an iPad right here. So I have to lean in to read it. Example: my work: 23 monsters and a squirrel was done on a golden ratio canvas with the Baroque diagonal placement of the monsters. How interesting. Yeah, when you learn all the math of art, you realize, they're formulas. Sure, it's music is a formula, right? The chords, the harmonies, those are mathematical formulas. But it's what you do with it that touches people. So it's both, you know. But I think the public, who are artists, the laymen, they think it's only the spiritual. They think art is only the magical because that's how they experience it. And it's fine for them to think that. You know, that's
but
all.
Everything's not magical.
They're just consuming it, you know. So they just know how the art makes them feel. And I would tell you, if you're not an artist, become one. You don't need to be one professional, but all of you should. You will, when you make good art, it's better than consuming art. Like, you ever watch a movie or listen to your favorite song or whatever, and it's magic. It feels so good to read a great book, to watch a great show, like something so entertaining and uplifting. It feels great. Imagine making that. Imagine making that. I'm telling you, you should all do it as a side hobby. Everyone should do art because you were an artist. Everyone was an artist. You were a little kid. You were an artist, and someone or something stopped you. Life got in the way. Someone drew. You just gave up. You didn't care that much, or you weren't interested, or whatever. You should write poetry. Never show it to anyone. It's for you. Make drawings, even if they're terrible. Make, play the drums. I don't know. Do something. I bought my wife a full drum kit for Christmas. She always told me she wanted to learn to play the drums. So I said, okay, wish granted. Drum kit. Here you go.
There you go. Hit it.
Yeah,
like the drummer from Kid Rock. Yeah, female drummer. She had a big old blonde afro.
No, I didn't get her that. But we got the motorized platform like Tommy Lee from Poison, where she sits in it and then it goes upside down. She's playing the drums upside down in the living room, and then it flips up. I saw a video of that. Like, what a ridiculous thing. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's see. What internet you get? You seem to be cutting off on occasion. Could be my end. Everything's fine on my end. I don't know. Jericho, you tell me. I mean, I have Starlink, which is just the best internet. Elon's internet. It's been great. Like the 6 months I've had it. And but I'm on my iPad, so I don't know if the Wi-Fi is funny on my iPad. But I usually stand right there, like over like a few feet, facing that way. That's that monitor you see right there. That's those 2 monitors. Those are the ones I'm usually looking at when I'm doing this show. But not today. Not today. I felt like sitting. So I'm sitting in front of my drawing desk here. Here I have an animator's desk. So you see that? I push a button and it turns on a light. Let me show you another trick you do when you draw. So when you're drawing, what you could do is you could draw something crooked, right? You draw a face and like one eye's too high or too low or too small. So what you do is you draw it on one side, then you flip it over and you put it down here and you can see through it. And then you're like, oh, shoot. And then you go back and fix it. You can also just do it with a hand mirror, holding up a mirror next to it and look at it. And you'll like, oh, man. But because of your handedness, left hand, right hand, you might draw jaws like crooked because the way you sweep your hand. I know I do that and I have to fix it. That I'll draw the one side of the draw, the left side good. Then the right side, it's like I'm coming in. So that one I have to push it out. There's been many times, like my whole life, I draw a face and it's not even down the middle. It's got the right proportion on this left side, but then the right side is shorter because of my handedness. So that's what you use, like use a light table for. This is like $160 on Amazon. It's huge. It's like 3 feet by 4 feet. It's gigantic. So yeah, you gotta have the right equipment. But
I always think it's funny when you see some fucking little tutorial like, oh, I'm gonna show you how to draw the perfect face, and it's just like, oh, put your I'm like, dude, you can't fucking teach me how to do. And the way they draw it is they speed it up, and it's fucking amazing. Like, dude, your little 30-second tutorial is not gonna have me drawing a fucking face like that.
Right.
Like,
no, it's like if I show you how to shoot a free throw, you're not gonna be able to do it in the next minute.
Why no? Just do it this way. Here, put your feet right here. Look, you'll get it every time. No, I fucking won't.
Okay, there was a guy, one of the greatest artists of all time, Andrew Loomis. He put out books 100 years ago in the 1930s. They did not print them for like 50, 60 years. These only got printed in like the last 10 years. In college, people traded these like contraband on CD-ROM. Kids out there, that was a storage media on a silver disc. But
going way back.
I got this and his 2 other books, Fun with the Pencil and Drawing for All It's Worth. Andrew Loomis. There is no higher. Sucker MCs can call him sire. Okay? You want to know how to draw a head? Bam! He'll come right at you and show you. Okay? And I do the Loomis method. And it's fantastic. It's simple. And here it is. Start with the ball. You bisect the ball. It's 3 sections. Your face is 5 eyeballs wide. You know what I mean? Like, I know all these measurements by heart. So, yeah. And if you want to know how to draw, get Loomis's books. There's other great books, but Loomis has 3. They're like 80, 90-year-old books. Get them. They're awesome books. So
yeah, faces don't change. Some things are the same no
yeah.
matter when.
Ramdog said he got Loomis and Hogarth. Hogarth is like overwrought to me. He's really good at drawing, but it's too much. It's like, Hogarth, calm down. You know, it's like he's hardcore, you know. And the other guy, he's still alive. He's not even old. He's only in his 50s. Marcos Mato Muestre. He's a Spaniard. He lives in LA. He works for, you know, How to Train Your Dragon, Asterix and the Vikings, Surf's Up, Puss in Boots, you know, everything you've heard of. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think about 7 of these. And it's everything he knows about character design, backgrounds, environment, 3D, shadows, everything. This is all of his knowledge. And the great thing about Marcos Muestre, just like Andrew Loomis 100 years before him, he knows how to explain it. See, a lot of people are good at what they do, and then they go coach pro sports or run the team, Michael Jordan, and they don't know how to translate what they do to other people. Coaching is a different skill than doing. And Marcos Muestre and Andrew Loomis, they just make it so easy to understand. I learned so much from those two, all their books. And I got to meet Marcos at Comic-Con. His booth, you know where my booth is, Jericho. You'll be back there this year. He was like 2 booths over from me, and he showed up one day, and he put an original drawing in each book. I have all 7 of his books. And I've torn these books to pieces, just reading them, drawing things in it. And this is framed environment design. So he just does tons of movie work, but he's just so brilliant at his character design and thick and thin. And see that tall rectangle, the triangle, and the circle. He's showing you those characters. They're basically just those shapes. He's brilliant. So it's all out there. The internet has democratized everything. Anything you want to learn, you can learn it on the internet. You know what I mean? So, but I think the problem people have is it's in an instant gratification is unfortunately the default for humans. People want to be good at drawing like me or Marcos or anyone. They want to be good at it in a month. If you want to be good at drawing and you ask me, hey, Gabe, how do I get good at drawing like you? I would say, what are you doing for the next 8 or 9 years? And I didn't make that up. The Sklar brothers, they're 2 twin brother comedians I love. My daughter just met them the other day at the Comedy Store. We met them before in Hollywood. But the cool dudes, love them. Hilarious. Sklar, Randy and Jason Sklar. And they would say when they meet young comedians, say, how do we get like you? How do we become a touring comedian? He would say, well, what are you doing for the next 8 years? And that's the truth. I had someone ask me that on a private message on Facebook. They're like, oh, I want to make comics. I wrote a script, but they didn't know how to draw. I said, well, you're going to have to hire someone to draw because you're not going to learn to draw in a month. You know, but I told them you will learn to draw in 8 years. And here's why you should do it. Like, oh, 8 years, do it. Because you know what? The 8 years are going to happen anyway. Think about that. The 8 years have to happen no matter what. It's not like they're not going to happen. So do you want to be able to draw in 8 years? Or do you want to still be the same guy in 8 years? That's what you think of all of your goals. So
in 8 years ain't shit.
Jericho's watching a movie. Heather?
What movie am I watching?
He's watching one of those late night Cinemax movies.
Heather, why are you starting shit? I'm not watching any Skinemax.
You know,
remember those days, Skinemax.
You know where I went this morning? I went to Frank Sinatra's house.
Oh, he lives in, or used to live in SoCal?
Yeah, he lived, well, he had the Cal Nava place. It was on the border in Tahoe of California and Nevada. It actually, the building split both states. But he had a house in Palm Springs, right in the center of town. You can drive into his driveway. It's not gated. It's a beautiful home and all that. But he had it built back in the 40s, and he lived there till the mid-50s. But I was in Palm Springs for 2.5 days with my wife. We took a little celebratory vacation after the successful launch of the Unstoppable Tyrus comic book. We just took a 2-dayer. After my Denver Broncos lost. Oh, we're not going to get into it too much. But if Bo Nix was healthy, they boat raced the Patriots, and you know
that's
that.
That's what I... Well, I don't boat race. I don't know boat race, but they would have beat them convincingly. Yeah, it would have been.
They would have beat them by 10, which in the NFL playoffs is an ass kicking 10 because everyone in the playoffs is good. So you beat someone by 2 scores. But credit to the Patriots. I'm not one of those bitches like we should have won. You got your 53. Your guy broke his ankle. Tough shit. You lost. Too bad. And you know, we'll see. Next year's 30. Like, who knows? You can win 6 games next year. You never know. But what a tragic end to a magical season that really looked like the Super Bowl. And it just that I like it in this. This is the only tiny silver lining for Bo Nix and Bronco fans. I told you he was fucking elite. I told you he was, because they looked fried dog shit without him. And with him, they couldn't lose. They couldn't lose with that guy. He is clutch. So
it sucks, man.
And I'm not being a hater. Patriots are going to get their shit stomped in by the Seahawks. I don't think it's going to be close.
Probably. I don't know. I think the only thing that's going to save him is if old Drake May, because that boy can throw. If he, has the game of his life, I'm not saying that they'll win, but that will definitely give them their best chance. But man, what a kick in the nuts to have Bo Nix go down at the end of the divisional round. Come on.
I'm gonna say we, like when fans say we, even though I'm not on the team. I got a Bronco hoodie. Let me go full Bronco mode. And it came in the mail today. I ordered it a week ago, but it came after the game. But it's fitting since they lost, because I'm in mourning for my team. All black Bronco hat. This is a fresh hat too, by the way. That's
nice.
But this is black for the tragedy of the end of the season. Because
yeah,
they beat the Buffalo Bills. They beat the Buffalo Bills. I'm laying on my couch. I'm surfing social media, just laughing, just happy. Gonna kill the fucking Patriots. I know we are. 45 minutes into laying there and reveling in it, Denver Broncos Twitter says, Coach Sean Payton has announced that Bo Nix fractured his ankle on the second to last play and is out for the remainder of the season. I'm like, what is this, a joke? Is it AI? Is it like, that's not real. And I look at it, and on Twitter, if you're a business, you have a yellow check mark. It says Denver Broncos yellow check mark. I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? He finished the game. He walked off. He did an interview. What do you mean he broke his ankle?
Dude, it sucks,
but he didn't break it. One of the bones at the top of his ankle he fractured. So you could play, and guess what happens when you plant? That fracture, that little crack, pop, it'll just snap wide open. Then you're fucked. Then you're done for a year. So, they would have killed the Patriots with him. I know they would have. That defense allowed the Patriots 3 points. That's it. 3 points.
Well, when stupid fucking Stidham, I'm going to throw it behind me with both hands. And you give the Patriots the ball on the 10-yard line? Come on, dog. There's no way Bo Nix would have fucking done that. No way.
No. Stidham.
No way.
We're all so excited for Stiddy. Everyone's Stiddy for the city. Everyone's saying, Stiddy's going to do this. Stiddy's going to do that. Stiddy he was a gangster in the preseason. He killed the 49ers 3 years ago when he was on the Raiders. Yeah. Okay.
That fucking sucks. Hey, you don't got to tell me about your quarterback being hurt at the worst time, because 3 years ago, 49ers were in Philadelphia for the NFC Championship game, and fucking 3 plays in. So I know. I feel you, man. I feel you. Yeah. And I know we would have beat their fucking ass. And then the next year we went there and beat their fucking ass.
But guess what? The Broncos did all that, only lost by 3. And starting QB was out. J.K. Dobbins, the starting running back, who was 3rd in the league in rushing when he went down in week 10, he was out. Wide receiver 2 was out, Pat Bryant. Wide receiver 3 was out, Franklin. We don't have a tight end and haven't had one all year. So at all your skill positions, you got Cortland Sutton. You got 1 wide receiver, a 3rd-string QB, and a bunch of guys playing wide receiver and tight end. And they did. But
who's on your defense? None of those injuries are on your defense. Your defense
and
was
the defense
fully fucking loaded. You got Surtain, you got Ufunga, you got Greenlaw. His crazy ass was in there. But that's my point. The 49ers, the slogan for our season, he was out. Just put a name in there, and he was fucking out. He was hurt, man. We fucking limped into the fucking season, man. I feel you. I feel you. I know how it is to have your team decimated with injury. But hey, Bo Nix comes back healthy. You guys aren't losing anybody, are you?
No.
So you should be, if you should
all
be all right.
Players, well, remember, the richest sports team in the world is the Denver Broncos, because they're owned by Walmart now. The Walton Penner Group bought them 3 years ago. No one has more money than the Broncos.
Oh, is that why? Because I saw, it shows the people up in the luxury boxes and shit, and it said so-and-so Walton. And I looked at it, I was like, The Broncos are from Arkansas. What the fuck? Is that the same Walton? I didn't know. I guess it is.
The owner of the Broncos got dementia and died, and his best friend lawyer ran the team.
It's always a lawyer.
Trying to give it to one of his kids for like 7 years. So John Elway and the lawyer, they were like the owners. They were acting like it for years, and it was it was becoming a real mess because I think you had like the owner of the Broncos who died. He was old. His kids were like, suing each other and who's going to, and they ended up just selling it. And the Walmart people stepped in. It's like, wow, we can afford everything now. And the Broncos did all this with Russell Wilson, $35 million on the cap for the last 2 years. Russell Wilson made more money than all the Broncos wide receiver, tight end, quarterback, running back combined. He was that much of it. He made $35 million this year, the stupid Russell.
And he wasn't even in the state. He wasn't even in the state of Colorado.
He's the phoniest. He's the worst guy ever in the NFL.
But would you rather have him or Stidham stepping in for old Bo
I'd rather have
Nix?
Stidham. Russell Wilson,
What?
Russell Wilson was a fumble machine. He wouldn't have won that. Russell Wilson, he was a loser.
I'd say you have a better chance of winning it with Russell Wilson.
No, you wouldn't have. No, you would. He sucked ass on Denver. The Russell Wilson of 10 years ago, I'd take. Not the Russell Wilson the last 4 or 5 years. He sucks. He sucks, dude.
Well, I'd say the Russell Wilson that you had when he was in Denver, whatever he was. Him or Stidham? I'd say him.
I'd take Stidham all day.
If he's the same as he was when you had him.
And Stidham sucked, and he's better right now than Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's third string on the fucking 3-win Giants.
There's no way Russell Wilson would have thrown a backwards pass with 2 hands in the AFC Championship game.
You didn't see him in Denver. He did worse shit than that, constantly running into sacks, constantly fumbling, constantly interception. He was out there, and you could hear that song, Wacky Sacks. I could hear that song watching him play. He was it was like I was watching Benny Hill.
But he's Mr. Unlimited.
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 The guys hated Denver more than anyone are Russell Wilson and Josh McDaniels. They're the two.
Dude, could you imagine the boos if Stidham went down and they bring Russell Wilson out of the fucking hallway, out of the tunnel? Oh my God. People would go on the field and fucking tear the goalpost down. Holy shit. Right. They just and now
I'm at a point like if you've seen your team win a Super Bowl as an adult, you're satisfied. My team has won
I haven't had that.
My team has won 3 Super Bowls where I got to sit and watch the whole game since I was 22 years old. I don't need another one. I want more. I want 1,000 Super Bowls, but I'm fine. I couldn't imagine my team not winning a Super Bowl, how I'd feel. Because I remember how it felt before the Broncos ever won one. It felt like they're never going to win one. That's what it felt like. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't imagine being a Bills fan. That would be the worst. Buffalo Bills. Like, why even watch football? Like, it just.
Dude, what was that? 4 years in a row they lost in the Super Bowl. To go to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row, that's awesome. Yeah. But to not come out of there with 1
awesome.
or 2?
It would be awesome the third time. After the third loss and they make it the fourth time, there's no way psychologically for them to win. Even if they were.
Because you're going to be like.
Better than. Because you're just like, oh, God, not again. Oh, God, not again. Oh, God, not again, right?
And at every level, you're going to be like, of course, yeah, they're going to go to the playoffs. Okay, they made the playoffs. Okay, they're in the division round. Okay, they're in the AFC Championship. Of course. Because the only way it could change is at that point, at the Super Bowl.
How does that team not win the Super Bowl? You got Jim Kelly, Kagan. You got Don Beebe, Steve Tasker, Bruce Smith, Thurman
Thomas.
Holy shit, how do they not have 2 rings at least?
You got to ask them. You got to ask them because they're the only ones that hold the key. I remember the Cowboys kicked their fucking teeth in. I don't remember the Reds. I remember I was at my friend's house. What's that?
The worst loss is the 1990 loss of 91 to the Giants because they were lined up for the makeable field goal, and he misses wide right 3 feet.
Jeez Louise.
You know that poor guy. My heart goes out to him. I guarantee you he has dreams about it. I guarantee you that guy. I forgot his name. What was his name? But I want to call him Treadwell, and that was the Broncos' old kicker.
Call him Ray Finkel.
I guarantee you he has dreams where he makes the kick.
And you know what? The only thing
excited. And then
It's
he
the
wakes
same
up
dream
tomorrow.
every night. It's the same dream every time.
He wakes up and it's not real.
Dude, the only thing that's gonna to stop that nightmare is for them to win one, and then he'll be redeemed. They got one.
But it's still not
sleep,
him.
I can rest.
Still not him.
But it's not him, but it's them. It's his people.
It ain't good
I mean, I'm
enough.
sure he probably puts on the fucking glasses and the fake nose and mustache disguise when he goes to the stadium. I'm sure he can't fucking show his face openly in the stadium, but once that happens, then he can. Then he could rip off his mask like the Scooby-Doo villain at the end, "Oh man, Johnson," and be like, "I'm back, Bill's Mafia. I'm back." Hey,
No,
good for him, man. I hope
the worst fans I've ever seen like this year are Jaguars fans. I've never seen a worse franchise with a bigger chip on their shoulder and a more inflated sense of who they are. Jaguars have won nothing and will win nothing. I have no idea.
Not.
But I see them on social media talk all this mess. Like, okay.
Well, they got Trevor Lawrence. He's actually a dude who was he number one overall?
He was
if he wasn't, he was. Yeah. So, but they actually got a number one overall pick who actually panned out. Trevor Lawrence, I don't think he's a shit quarterback. He's in a shit team.
He's in like his 7th year, and he's finally panned out. Like Sam Darnold on the Seahawks. Remember, this Sam Darnold's like 4th or 5th team. He kept flaming out, and he wasn't good. He wasn't good, Sam.
But he came out and he went to he got drafted by the Jets.
And then he was on the Panthers. They just let him go.
That's like, hey.
He turned around.
That's like, you don't have. Yeah, he went to Minnesota, and that's when he got hot. And Minnesota's like, damn it, why'd we get rid of him? And he went to Seattle. But going from the Jets to the Carolina Panthers is like, hey, guess what? Tomorrow you're leaving the cancer ward, but we're taking you to the burn ward. You're like, oh, dude, what the fuck? It's still terrible. The Carolina Panthers? Even when they went to the Super Bowl 10 years ago, you knew they weren't going to fucking win. And then Cam Newton's like, yeah, I'm not touching that ball. And that sealed the deal right there. Von Miller was like, fine.
All time.
What a fucking idiot.
Von Miller, defensive Super Bowl. You never see the defender be the MVP almost, you know?
And, never. It's always a quarterback.
And Cam Newton was never right again. Von Miller ruined his life.
But he didn't have to be that way. If he would have stuck his head in there and got that damn ball, that would have energized the team. Maybe it would have gotten a little respect from Von Miller. All right, maybe I won't knock your head completely off next time. It would have changed it. But for you to sit there and look at that ball like it was covered in shit, what an idiot.
I love defensive end. I played defensive end. It's my favorite thing. I wore 56 in high school because of Lawrence Taylor. And you love your Bruce Smith, your Reggie, what's his name on the Packers?
Reggie White.
All the great defensive ends. I will tell you, having watched some of these guys play, peak Von Miller for 3 years there. There's never
wait, Gabe. Wait, Gabe. Wait before you finish that sentence.
No, I've never seen a better one. I've never seen a guy that could move like Gumby and hit like an ox. I went and watched the very last Charger Bronco game here in San Diego before they went to LA. We were row 17. The comic book store that I've been frequenting for years, the owner's brother had season tickets for my anniversary. We bought them off him real cheap. And it was a Thursday night game. The Broncos were in it. I saw Von Miller like the Matrix in that game, bending all the way over, running at full speed, pulling up, trying to get a set. Like, you haven't seen a body move like that, like the Matrix, bending, turning, running at full speed, bent over and twisting, but then hit like a fucking freight train. Insane, dude. Just insane. There's no one I'd rather have. And Super Bowl MVP from defensive end. He turned that game around. He hit Cam in the first quarter, stripped him. They get the touchdown from the D tackle, gets the touchdown. He sacked him like 2.5 times. Like, he was insane. He intercepted Tom Brady in the AFC Championship. Like, he was for 3 years there, 3-4 years, there wasn't a better defensive end. He was insane.
Von Miller he's Hall of Fame worthy. Super Bowl champion. Who knows all the records and shit he has. An amazing player. But you mentioned Lawrence Taylor. I'll take him out of the conversation simply because at his Hall of Fame acceptance speech, he should have thanked the country of Colombia for that because they helped him. Lawrence Taylor was coked the fuck out. So we'll take him off of there because he definitely had performance-enhancing drugs.
I know someone personally that I've known for almost 20 years, friend of mine that was his teammate at North Carolina in college, and some of the stuff he told me doesn't sound true, but it's true.
Hell yeah.
Because it's a friend of mine. But some of the shit he told me about UNC was insane. So
yeah, Lawrence Taylor was a maniac, a great player. I'm not taking away from it. I'm just saying he had a little extra nudge from South America. Now, Reggie White, that dude was a polar opposite, holy roller, total Boy Scout, but he would help you off the ground, like as a quarterback. Steve Young was talking about how Reggie White would come in and knock the shit out of me. Hey, Steve, hey man, how you doing? How the kids? But he would kill you, and he was bigger than Von Miller, but still had that athleticism and that power. I would say the way you describe Von Miller, the twisting, the turning, and all that stuff, I would say Reggie Miller, his version of that was his strength. I mean, yeah, Reggie White, his strength. He wasn't because of his size, he was light on his feet. He had finesse and everything, but his strength, man, he would, dude, one hand and just get it under your armpit and put you in the stands.
He had that physicality. You don't call it strength, you call it strength.
Yeah, with an F. M-F. S-T-R-E-M-F.
Yeah,
strength.
Powerful strength.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, just farm boy. I'm sure he hit the weight room, but just that farm boy.
You got those top 10 defensive ends of all time, and Von Miller's in that for sure. I'm biased. He's
and what's it? Well, yeah, for sure. I understand that, but the greatest.
You know who
ever he has.
You know who's going to be one of the greatest defensive ends of all time? And he was drafted the same year as Von Miller out of Arizona State to the 49ers, and he kept getting in trouble and getting arrested, and he was in the league for like 2-3 years. What the hell?
Not Reuben Foster. That fool.
No, there was this guy, and he was Lawrence Taylor Part 2. Insane, getting arrested, getting suspended.
Oh, Aldon Smith?
Whoa! That guy was going to be a fucking legend.
Yep. Him and Justin Smith. See, Justin Smith would take on the double teams, and that would free up Aldon Smith. Dude, he was a maniac. He was long, he was tall, hit, all that shit. Like you said, that twisting and turning. Yeah, but he couldn't keep his hands off his fucking girlfriend.
Yeah, he had some mental problems, apparently, allegedly.
Fucking idiot. Every team should have a dude who just... Come here, you stupid ass. Why are you out here at 2 o'clock in the morning during fucking training camp, you fucking idiot?
Yeah, it's not your dad, because that'd be too triggering for some of the players, but it's your uncle. It's like...
Dude! You can't keep it together. How long is a football season? What, September to fucking February? You can't keep it together for 5 months? 5 months. Keep it together. Actually... Don't leave the facility. Stay at the facility. Travel for away games. Bring it. Oh, God, man, you fucking idiots. That's the worst thing is wasted fucking talent.
Because I think rookie year, Aldon Smith had more sacks than Von Miller. And
he was absolutely amazing.
He had a thing Von Miller didn't have: savagery. Von Miller had grace. He was like a ballerina, like the Matrix. He was a tough guy. But he was like a ballerina, Von Miller, like flipping and twisting. He was like water. He was like Bruce Lee as a defensive end. But Aldon Smith was like, you opened the pen and the fucking bucking bronco came out, or the bull came out, attacked you, and just getting mauled by a bear. Aldon Smith, that is a missed opportunity right there. Jeez.
Fuck yeah. You ever see that video? There's a video floating around of a grizzly bear. It has rabies, and it's like biting the steel bar, and you can see that it's cold. You can see the breath. It's a fucking 800, 900-pound grizzly, the big fucking traps, and it's in this, I would call it a cage. It's more like a pen. And it has these thick steel bars, and the bear is literally biting the bar and shaking it. You can see the breath coming out. That was Aldon Smith. But then you get all handsy with your old lady. Now you're out of the fucking league. Man, what an idiot.
Now what?
Yeah, now what?
You won the lottery, Aldon. Come on, man.
Now you're 6'5", 260 at the Verizon store.
Come on. Come on. That's backwards.
Golly, man. I had a friend like that growing up. An amazing talent. Fast. He could hit the light switch and be in bed before it got dark. That motherfucker was fast. couldn't catch a cold. But if you handed him that ball, good night. State track records and county and district records and this and that and long jumping, 4x1, 4x4, 200. Fucking, I run into this dude like 5 years after high school. Came home from the Navy. I ran into him and just looking at him, I can tell things didn't pan out. And I'm like, and you know, I'm talking to him and everything. Hey man, how you been? All this shit. And I had, dude, what happened, man? It wasn't like, you know, of course we're rooting for him. You're my friend. But it's like, I was pulling for you, man. What the fuck?
We were all cheering for you.
Dude. And then, yeah, drugs. In a word, drugs. Just fucking just depleted him of all drive and ambition and talent. I'm talking chiseled out of marble. Dude was shredded. Like, I remember girls were like, oh my God, they like grab his chest because he had the striations and shit. They would like grab, like almost had like a rock wall. He had little places for your fingers to fit in his muscles.
I'll say this, by the way, ladies, why is it okay for a guy to have a hot body like me? And ladies just think they can grab you. Whereas,
isn't that funny? The double standard?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? I've seen women act, dude, I've seen women act like complete and total animals.
Right.
When a celebrity comes around. I'm talking, will run you over, trample your face, screaming, clawing, scratching, grabbing. If a woman came out and the men in the crowd acted like that, they would be arrested for sexual assault. The police would be pepper spraying the crowd. But they're girls. So you're allowed to leave scratch marks on his neck and rip his t-shirt and like run over security. It's crazy. Like women complain about, oh guys, there's a double standard for you fuckers too. And when it comes to like strippers or celebrities, women act like fucking animals. Animals that men couldn't act like if he wanted to. We can't grab some woman and rip her shirt and scratch her neck. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, these crazy broads, these crazy sluts, Will. And I'm not saying all women are sluts. I'm just saying the ones that act like that. It's crazy. If I saw a guy treating a woman like that, I'd tell my buddies, hey, we got to go stomp this dude in the fucking red wine, don't we? Because he's assaulting that woman. But girls, it's like, it's okay, girls. They're just girls.
Speaking of red wine, it's time to bring back this blast from the past.
All day. Stop. Stop. I can't breathe. Stop. No. Oh,
boy,
dear.
I think she's actually hurt.
No,
there.
I think she is.
Yeah, she's hurt. She took a hard fall.
Ouch.
I
think she's hurt.
Is the react from her colleagues doing everything they can not to laugh and piss their pants. You know, they're just like pissing themselves. They're actually physically hurting themselves so they won't laugh. They're like, oh no.
That lady, I wonder if it shows their hands. Are they like digging their nails into their legs so they don't fucking just die laughing?
That's what she gets. Make it stop.
Stop. Make it stop. That lady got hurt so bad that she was yelling out shit that didn't make any sense.
It sounds like a car that won't start in the cold weather.
Make it stop. Fuck. Like, I don't think that lady got her wind back for 48 hours.
None of the mind says it ages like fine wine. Well played.
Fuck, dude.
You remember you'd be outside playing street football. You fall down.
Dude.
I want my mom.
Mommy. Dude, that lady fucked her so much.
I hated this so much when you played street football or whatever. And then, like, one kid gets bored or has to go home. And what happens when he leaves? Everyone else goes home.
Yeah, that's when the party starts.
And you're like, no, come on, no. And they all start
Dude, that lady got fucked. And why didn't they cut the The video feed earlier. She was on the ground for like
Oh.
30. Dude, cut. Ooh, I think she's hurt. Yeah. You think so? You don't make those kind of noises when you're feeling. Well, I guess you could if you're feeling
that's
good, but
She could
not in her
make that-
case.
Yeah, well,
Dude, is there such thing as a chest transplant? Because she needed one. This was fucking. This was done.
we've got a donor.
A lady just died of a heart attack. We need her chest.
Oh,
Because this
man.
fucking news reporter just lost hers in a grape stomping accident. They're like the whole chest. You know, matter of fact, just give me a whole new torso because I feel like the damage went to the back too. Just give her a whole new setup because her shit. Oh my God. And it happened because she was trying to be funny.
Yeah.
She told the other lady stop, and then she started again to cheat, trying to be
Right.
funny. And yeah, man. Fuck.
She tried to make a joke and ended up being the joke.
Became one. And how long ago was that? Like 20 years?
Yeah.
And we're still getting tears of laughter from that?
It's for live. For a long-
Golly. There's this chick I used to work with, and I showed her that video. And from then on, I would say 97% of our conversation, one of us would just go, ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, stop, make it stop.
Oh no.
Oh no. I think she's hurt. Ooh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, she's hurt.
Ooh.
She's different. That lady's different now. Her family's like, I don't know what happened to her. But she's not the same anymore. She don't have the kids anymore. She's not loving, and she used to be so nice. And now she won't eat. She hardly sleeps anymore. That woman
Won't get
changed.
grape juice anymore.
Nah, don't get any. Don't even say
No.
grape. No grapes. No raisins. No
Right.
California raisins during Christmas
No.
time.
No PB&J sandwiches. Nothing.
So I had to grab. Well, she'll do strawberry jam.
Right.
No Welch's. We had to get rid of everything. Oh, I had a trip planned to a winery. I had to cancel that shit.
Yeah. Everything. Out.
Nothing. Matter of fact, anything small and cylindrical, we had to get out of the house.
Gone.
We had to
Raisinets.
everything.
Gone. Milk duds.
Gone.
Gone.
Skittles, bouncy balls,
Whoppers.
all that shit had to go. Yeah, sorry. And as the kids are eating them, give me
Yeah.
your mom's
Strangely,
coming home. Give me that.
Still loves peanut M&Ms. Still loves peanut M&Ms. Though.
Because they're not quite a circle. They're a little weird, but
Yeah.
The
Little,
trauma.
Like a little football. Let's start a new argument about food. Okay, you're already wrong about peanut butter, but let's see what else you're wrong about.
and you're
Do
wrong
you
about
like-
Mexican food in Northern California, but go ahead.
Yeah, please. I just went to Tijuana twice last week.
That's not America. You can't claim that as Southern California.
But it spills
You
over.
can't claim
on-
that. Borders mean something, Gabe.
Oh, is that is what a fascist would say?
Thank you. We get a new fascist hat tomorrow.
When you come down on M&Ms, are you going peanut M&Ms or the plain?
If my choice is those two, plain, no question. I don't like fucking peanuts.
Wow, see,
Peanut
wrong again. The
Dude,
peanut M&M is
fucking
superior.
weird. No, it's not. How? Like a peanut's not even the best nut. You act like a peanut is the
You
best
never heard
fucking
of
nut
peanut
out
butter?
there.
Wait. You never heard of peanut butter? And
I mean, the
chocolate?
nut itself. The nut itself. No, thank you. I don't want peanuts in anything. Only my feces. That's the only thing I want peanuts in.
You don't want.
No.
You don't like. You won't. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You won't eat a bowl of salted peanuts?
No, it's called self-respect. I'm not eating no salted peanuts. No, peanuts are just. I don't like. I mean, if I eat a peanut, I'm not gonna. It's not like it's coconut, but peanuts. No, I'm cool. Anything
Do you
with
not
peanuts in it,
Wait. Do you not like nuts?
I do. Cashews are my favorite.
Cashews
I like-
are the worst nut, and it's
I
also,
like-
by the way, not a nut. Cashew.
Oh, it's not a nut because it's a nut.
It's a
And
seed,
almonds.
It's the seed of a cashew apple. It's not a nut. No, a peanut
It's
is
a
not
nut.
a nut either. A peanut is a bean. It is a legume.
But it's a nut. For the
Yeah.
for the sake of this argument you're losing, we're gonna call them nuts.
Cashews are gr-
But almonds, I like almonds, and if I was an asshole, I would say almonds, but I'm not. Almonds are cool. Cashews are the best nut out there, and that's final.
What
do you think of that?
Nut of all time.
Oh, speaking of
Love,
nuts,
love it.
how? Speaking of nuts, I bet you didn't think I could tie nuts in with racism, but I can. So when I was working at Trader Joe's, aka the center of communism, there was this old man, and his name was Spin. No, that was this other old lady's husband who was senile, and he'd run through the grocery store. Get her away from me, get her away from me. And it's his wife, come on, Spin, come on. Very sad. But this other old man, he was in his 90s, old German man, and he used to be, I think, a podiatrist in Germany.
I thought you were going to say he used to be a prison guard in 1930s.
It was between 1938 and like 1944, but he never talked about it. It was weird.
Oh, he just said at some prison in Europe. He said it was more of a work camp than a prison. You know?
Yeah, it was like something wits camp.
I don't know.
And then he was always asking for our papers. He was funny though. He's a nice old man.
Okay.
But he reminded me of the guy whose face melted in Raiders. He had the hat. He looked like a little German dude. He had a little hat, a little lederhosen hat. He always had a suit and a tie. He was sometimes the blazer with the patches on it. Little tiny old man. And his nose always ran, and his hearing was the worst. So you always had to yell, and he would always yell. But this time you didn't want him to yell because in Germany, maybe other countries, they have a certain word for or certain name for Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts are a little elongated.
Brazil nuts, the ones that are about the size of a human toe.
Yes, you've heard this story before. And the shell of a Brazil nut is a very nice dark chocolate brown. And one day, I'm on the next aisle over, and I'll never forget when I heard this old man with a familiar voice say, "Do you have nigger toes?" I'm sorry, sir.
And you actually heard a record scratch.
But Gabe, the only thing that would make saying that better is to say it twice. So of course, at a higher volume, because he thought they didn't hear him, he said, "Do you have nigger toes?" And I fucking laughed. I died laughing because I knew the old man. He's old. He's 90 something, old as fuck, German. That's what they call him. I'm not mad at him. Dude, it was the funniest shit I ever heard in my life. For him to yell that shit out twice in a packed grocery store. It was beautiful.
They're in the People's Republic of Trader Joe's, by the way.
Oh, the People's Republic of Monterey, California.
Ooh.
It was bad. It was bad.
What did I say wrong?
What?
What is it? That's what they call it.
Oh my goodness. So one of my coworkers who spoke fluent German, he actually learned it to date this woman that he's still married to. Pretty cool. He explained to him in German that probably shouldn't.
Nine.
Probably shouldn't. And not just this store, but let's take this to all stores you go to. Don't yell that out. How about that?
Save that one for
too
home.
funny.
Save that one for home.
Yeah, save that one for. Don't go past the front yard with that one.
Yeah, save that one for your Fraulein, your little Fraulein.
Oh, dude, it was so funny. It was so funny. Woo! And then, like I said, the only thing that made it better is when he said it a second time. I was like, yeah, I did hear that. That is exactly.
Speaking of our friends from Austria and Germany from World War II, I was in Palm Springs since Sunday night. Delightful. If you haven't been to Palm Springs, people, you need to go. If you go in the summer, it's going to be 120. So go now in the winter. It's
Yep.
World-class museums. They have casinos if you're into it. They have an amazing zoo. But I went to the aviation museum. It's right next to the Palm Springs Airport. So many amazing planes. An F-117 Nighthawk. They have F-14 Tomcats. They had a B-17 bomber from World War II. They had two of them.
Ooh.
And the second one, you pay $5. And the docent, that's the museum guides, you go up the stairs and walk through it. Dude, it was so awesome. I could have never done that. I'm way too big. I would have constantly just gashed my head on the metal ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
Those B-17, the long-range bombers, they were aluminum, as the Brits say, aluminum, to make them hard and lightweight. The thickness of a credit card. Zero insulation, zero.
Oh, so it was chilly up there.
-70.
Oof.
-70. And the gun ports on the side, the windows are this big, and they're just open to the air.
Yeah.
So you're flying along, and it's open in -70. So they're covered, helmet, oxygen mask, goggles, 3 pairs of gloves, a jacket, a liner, another thing under that, like 2 pairs of pants, bunny boots. I don't even know what those are, but he said bunny boots, all this stuff. And then there's a catwalk 10 inches wide on the bomb bay that you can walk through to the back of the plane. So when the bomb bay doors open, you're 10, 20,000 feet above Dresden and you're bombing it. There's a 10-inch wide catwalk to walk on. The ball on the bottom that you sit in like this.
The ball gunner.
Charles Bronson, he was a ball gunner. You had to be like 5'6" to get in there. You're sitting like this, feet up, 250 cals next to your ears, aim like that, looking in this thing, and 8-hour missions. And I asked the docent, who was gay, but he was old school gay. You didn't know he was gay, but he
was respectable gay.
Well, Palm Springs, for those of you that don't know, ultra gay, super gay. The people that live in Palm Springs, there's a lot of gay, like a lot, and a lot of retirees, and a lot of both. He was an older guy, awesome dude, really nice.
Are there retired gays there?
I think so.
So pretend that he used to be gay, but they retired.
But he had like really good hair, and then he had a tiny little diamond stud. I'm like, that makes sense. It's Palm Springs.
Oh yeah, you take it on the butt.
But he was an awesome guy. I really liked him. He told me and my wife everything about this bomber. But I asked him, and I said, and I'm not trying to be funny. 8 hours, -70. How do you go to the bathroom?
Yep.
If you pee your pants, it's going to freeze and it's going to injure you. It's -70. If you pull it out to pee out the bomb bay, set -70, it's going to freeze it off.
Breaking off like Terminator 2.
He told me he didn't know what they did. So who the fuck knows? Who knows?
Damn.
I have no idea what these guys did. And
maybe he was stood over.
Wire. You're flying this fortress and you're pushing on the pedals to do the ailerons and the rudders and all that. And the wires were you could touch them like a guitar. They were going on both sides of the top of the fuselage. These 18. It was like, and I talked to him when we got out. You go in the front, you climb up these stairs. I could never fit in this thing as an actual guy in the military. And we get out, and I said, it's just amazing what these people did to give us the world and the lives we had. And he says, yeah. And people are afraid to get political, but I'm not. And he's like, yeah, they just don't appreciate anything. I said, yeah. Could you imagine 17-year-old pothead, fat, Xbox addicted losers lying to get into the military now like they did back then to serve their country? Yep. Could you imagine them being in shape enough physically to fly by wire? You're pushing on a pedal to control this giant vehicle. Insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Well, they used to have very strict physical requirements in school. Like you look at a teenager from the 60s and the 70s, the things they had to do in PE class and shit like that. It was almost like a boot camp, like military training. I had family members who lied to get into the military for World War II. And I remember a story about a ball gunner where they lost their landing gear. And I heard about this. Right? Like, you got to land. So it was a sure death for that ball gunner. And imagine, like, hey, man, we got to land. We got to start our descent. And he's probably like, yeah, man, fuck you, I know, whatever. And hey, boys, I love you. And like, imagine his last fucking few minutes watching the ground, not only watching the ground come closer, knowing you're going to die, but knowing that everybody else is going to live. And imagine being them, knowing he down there, you're going to live and he's going to die as soon as you fucking touch down. It was something where the plane got injured. They couldn't get him out. And so he was going to die. And on those missions, you were probably going to die on the mission. Like, there was a good chance that you weren't coming home on some of these missions.
Yeah, it was insane. And they only flew them during the day. And the reason they flew them during the day is because they had a turbo. Everyone knows what a turbo is. It pumps oxygen into an engine. But because they had these turbos, these giant, like 2,000 horsepower engines, had like 4 of them or 1,200 horsepower, something. These things were massive. It glowed bright red, the engines. So you can't fly them at night because you're going to have 4 red engines flying along. So the British...
like, oh, it's right there.
Oh, it's Americana. It's right there.
Yeah. Look at the 4 orange balls in the sky.
Cannons. Yeah, it was awesome. I loved it. I mean, being a San Diegan, I love the military. I love military history. I've been to a ton of military museums. But my all-time favorite fighter jets, I'm going to give you the top 4 of all time. We're going to argue about something else. Number 1, the coolest looking jet. I'm not saying it's the best, most effective. The coolest looking aircraft in military of all time, F-14 Tomcat. Second coolest looking of all time, in my opinion, SR-71, F-4 Phantom, and the A-10, the Thunderbolt. Love all those, man. Just love those. And I stood right outside on their hold on. Let me turn off the screen lock here. Hold on. It's got this vertical lock. I had a picture taken with the F4 Phantom and the Tomcat.
That's the Vietnam era, the F4
Yeah,
Phantom.
these are Cold War era. But I think the F-14 is the one in the front, and the Phantom's the one in the back. I love these. I think they're just awesome. So, but it's really cool.
Yeah, the SR-71, that design is so unique, so just not just strange, but in a good way.
Yeah.
You know, the elongated front, and then those 2 engines on the back. I think is it still the fastest thing to ever fly?
We have one here in San Diego, just right by my house at the the Air and Space Museum has one, and then at the museum next to USC, University of Southern California, they have one there, and it's a trip to see it in real life. The other one I saw was the 117 Nighthawk, the ones that use
those things are fucking awesome, and they already decommissioned them.
It doesn't even look real. Well, I was listening to one of the docents, the old men that are there. They're like retired military guys. That thing, they started designing it in the late 60s or the 70s, early 70s. So imagine the F-117 Nighthawk looks like Star Wars, and they could still use them today. They don't. Just imagine, that's like over 50 years ago when they started making that one. Imagine what our military has now. You couldn't even fathom what they have. I couldn't even imagine.
I think, definitely the first time it was used. I'm not sure if that was the actual first time it was used, period. But definitely the first time it was used.
Really tested was Desert Storm.
In the Gulf War. Yeah. In the Gulf War. But my brother, he was in the Air Force at the time when it got decommissioned, and he was telling me, he's like, it could serve for another 20 years easily, and be a country mile ahead of everything else in the sky. But they had already developed the F-22 and the F-A-35, so it was kind of like it had to be decommissioned because we got these 2 fucking Ferraris right here that are brand new and that, you know, are the most advanced aircraft in existence. But the SR-71 has a timeless look. Like, even though it's an old plane, it's been decommed for years.
Yeah,
it still looks new. But you got like the Phantoms and stuff like that, or those 1960s, you know, the aluminum cylindrical. They have a dated look to them. Even the Tomcat has a dated look. I would say that the A-10 doesn't. The A-10 also has a timeless look to it. You could put that in 50 years in the future and it would still look awesome. Probably painted black, do some cool shit. But it has a timeless design. But I would say my top 4 all time got to be SR-71, number 1. The F-117, because it was so fucking awesome. And I remember as a kid when it debuted, like, it looked fucking, what is that, an alien? What the fuck is that?
Bush Senior's like, yo, new long-range bomber just dropped.
Dude, and we got the perfect place to test it out. Go test it in the sandbox. And they fucked Saddam up with that thing. The F-22, and then I'd probably say the F-18 would be my number 4.
The Blue Angel.
F-18, yeah, man, the F-18, it's put in some work. It's been on for a long time too. A long time. And another thing that was cool, reminded me when I mentioned the A-10, because the A-10's been around forever, but it gets its upgrades, radar and stuff like that, and weaponry, and they still use it. But I think something that is really cool, to where we kind of took something old and upgraded it, was the gravity bomb. So we have all these bombs left over from the Vietnam era, and we don't do carpet bombings anymore because, you know, you don't want to, we're against civilian casualties now. So they came up with the JDAM system. It's basically this tail with a GPS that you put on a dummy bomb, and now it's a precision guided munition. Now, instead of dropping it, hoping that it floats down somewhere near your target, now you can put this 500-pound, 1,000-pound, 2,000-pound bomb within 30 feet of its target, guaranteed. And if you're dropping a 2,000-pound bomb 30 feet, shit, it could be 100 feet, and you're about to flatten everything around there. So that was pretty awesome. They're like, man, what are we gonna do with all this shit? Hey, let's put a tail system on it. We can really fuck people up. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
shout out to the J down.
But again, this is why when I see those ICE protesters and all those Smash the Patriarchy people, I'm
Speaking
just like,
of using J dams,
yeah, look at this stuff here. Now that was a World War II, late 30s, early 40s. That's a bombing site with all these dials and meters on it, and a thing you look down the top, and it's like you couldn't even begin to understand how this thing works, how it's used. And as an artist, I design things constantly. And what I would say to people is every little piece of every, like I looked at an engine that was 71 years old yesterday, one of the giant engines from, I think it was Pratt & Whitney or General Electric. And it's got endless shafts and pipes and impellers and gauges and knobs and all this. And every, there's a tube going like this, and there's a clip that holds it, and it goes down, it goes up, angle back, blah, 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 blah. All of it had to be drawn, designed, tested, math equations, and it's like, that's what the patriarchy is. The patriarchy is the relentless testing, failing, learning, acquiring to get you the world you have today. And you have the fucking temerity to be a fat shit with blue hair out there saying, smash the patriarchy, blah, blah, blah. You have refrigeration because of the patriarchy. All the stuff you love, you have it because of the men you hate. It's disgusting, and there's no excuse for it. Oh, my dad. I don't care if your dad was an asshole. That's your dad. That's not men. That's your dad. Why don't you get over that? A lot of us had to get over things like that. But quit projecting all men are like your piece of shit father. Because that's what's wrong with leftist people. Their dad was a creep, or their mom turned them against the dad. It's always the dad. That's what always is. It can be the dad's fault or not the dad's fault or the mom's fault or both. But it's always horrible, hateful parenting. And then these people turn into smash the patriarchy. Patriarchy means father. Yeah, they hate their dad because their heart is broken about their childhood or whatever. We all suffered in childhood. Get over it. You're not special.
Hell yeah. That's
fucking tragedy in their life. You're not special that way. It doesn't mean it isn't sad, but you don't get to go around destroying everything because you got hurt. I got hurt. People I love are dead. I've carried multiple coffins to the ground. And I'm not special because of that, because other people have done it too. Okay?
Yeah, I've never been alone at the cemetery. There's always somebody else there putting somebody in the ground or putting flowers or cleaning off their headstone. Yeah, it's something, unfortunately, something we all have to deal with. Matter of fact, 15 minutes before I came on here, my wife told me that a childhood friend of ours, her cancer came back. So you know how that goes. You know that process. You know that phone call you're going to get, driving down there. It fucking happens to us. And how you're talking about smash the patriarchy and these fucked up kids and they're mad at their dad. I saw something today in 2 different places online. It's the result of terrible parenting. Yeah. These 2 different high schools. Yeah, one was in Georgia, and I want to say the other one was in California. But 2 different high schools, these kids staged an anti-ICE walkout. And just by the sheer numbers, you can tell that it's some bullshit, because there's no fucking way that many kids in a high school are fully informed about what they're walking out about. 99% of them are using it as an opportunity to get the fuck out of class. I've had a walkout. Yeah, I've had a walkout at my school too when I was in high school, and it was fucking stupid, and everybody just wanted to leave. So you have these 2 high schools where these kids, hundreds of them, walking out of school, flipping off the camera, cheering. One of them, they were in the courtyard. There's hundreds of kids around, and one of them, I don't know who gave this little fucker a microphone, but he's like, Donald Trump is a fascist. Kid has no fucking idea what he's talking about, still has fucking Clearasil on his little pimples on his face. Man, let me tell you, if my mom and dad got a call from the school saying Jericho wasn't in school today, they'd be like, well, I sent him to school this morning. Walk out? He did what? It's a wrap. All right. When I get home, there's no mom, but wait, the patriarchy and ICE. ICE, are you having some water? Because that's the only fucking ICE we care about in this house. My parents would have beat the black off of me for leaving school. If the school wasn't on fire or I didn't come and pick you up, what the fuck are you leaving school for? But obviously, there's hundreds of children in these schools who fear no consequence from their parents, and they're just going to walk out of school. You know what I did when the kids walked out of my school? I was in class with the 5 other kids who didn't walk out listening to the fluorescent lights buzz in fucking English class. Because there's no way that I'm taking the chance of my parents finding out that I walked my dumb ass out of high school for what exactly? Anti-what? What does I stand for, you fucking little idiots?
You know, I there with you 1,000%. And I'm an artist. And so that means that free speech is near and dear to my profession. And I'm not saying it means more to me than other people, but without free speech, I can't do what I can do. But I will say, I hate protests. I think they are lame, and I would never go to one. Wave your fucking sign. Call Obama a traitor. Call Bush a Trump a fascist. In my opinion, I hate to say this, but if I drive by protesters, I roll down the window and I make fun of them. I do.
I flip them off.
Go home. Go home. Because it doesn't work. It doesn't change anything. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. I don't believe that. I'll never believe that. I always think
the last one I saw was the No Kings protest. And guess what? Trump is still in the damn White House, and he's not going anywhere until November of 2028. And you know what? Do what the Asians did. Remember that Stop Asian Hate? They had legislation in fucking 20 minutes. Do what they get organized, get in front of the lawmakers. That's how you make a difference. You don't go out on the street corner and be an asshole. And another thing I hate about protesting, it's not even protesting. It's rioting. It's disrupting. But people say they feel like as long as it's under the umbrella of protesting, I can do what I want. I can block traffic. I can get in a cop's face. I can throw shit at them. I can alert the criminals that they're coming.
But
with their little fucking whistles.
But they can because the activist judges let them out, so they know they can.
But
they do get away. You can't.
These rights come with responsibility. Do I have the right to walk up there in the middle of that Klan meeting and give them a piece of my mind? Yeah. But is that smart? Is that conducive to good health? No, it's probably stupid. So I can't do that. That's part of being an adult. Oh, I want to, but I shouldn't. I can't. Self-control. You can't, just because you don't like what they're doing, you can't get in an officer's face?
Get into fisticuffs with a federal officer? Are you stupid?
What?
Yeah.
And then when you get blasted, then it's murder. Murder implies intent. That cop had to wake up that day saying, I'm going to kill this fool. I'm going to kill somebody. No, you fucked with him. You reached for his gun. You hit him. You're wrestling with him. Yeah, you're going to get shot. If I got a gun on my hip and you start wrestling with me, I'm going to shoot your ass because I'm not going to take the chance of you getting the upper hand and shooting me.
Right.
If I'm with my family, you're definitely getting shot.
You're wrestling a dude that has a gun on his head. You don't know.
And he's trained to use it. He's not I just bought this yesterday. When that dude's not here, he's on the range. He has tight groups.
You know, I talked to a lady.
Idiots.
When it was the Air Museum, the military history, it had a Vietnam section, a World War II section, a Korean War section. It had like some of the NASA stuff. It was awesome. There was a lady from New Zealand with her son there, and he was a precocious little boy, like 11 years old, and he knew all kinds of things. Oh, that's the 22 millimeter with the blah blah blah. He was talking to the docent when we were going through the B-17, and he knew so many facts. He was a little nerd about airplanes. It was very cute. And I asked the lady, we were outside. There was a big yard outside where there's about 30 planes. You saw that picture of me by the F-14. We were out there, and there's 30 different aircraft. And I asked her, we ran into her. She was with her son again. I said, where are you from? I thought she was going to say English. She said, New Zealand. And she'd never been there before. She thought it was amazing, this, that, and the other. We talked about what her and her husband were doing in America with the son. And then she said, I've been really surprised. I watched the news in New Zealand, and I talked to all you Americans, and Donald Trump hasn't come up once. And I was like, yeah, life's pretty good here. You know, you watch I told the news, as you know, lady, it's left wing. So they reported left wing propaganda and I told her, listen, people aren't going to tell you this because of for fear. Most Americans, maybe a slim majority, most do support him. They're chickened out of it. They're shamed. They're canceled, lose their job. Most people, over 50%, do support Trump. Most people do. And I told her that, and I told her I do. So I'm not going to be afraid to admit that. And my wife does. But I knew she was cool because she was like, it's so refreshing in America. We went and rode bikes with my son, and they're like, he's 11, he needs a helmet, but you're adults, you can pick if you want. So when we're in New Zealand, you can't do anything. So you have to wear a bike to do this, you have to wear a belt to do that, you have to sign this. It's a nanny state. I said, yeah, it's free here. Isn't it nice? It's free here. And I said, and we're trying to save it. She said, oh, well, good luck. And then when she said that, I knew she was cool. Like, you don't want all the illegals in your country either. And
hell no.
I told her, and even though you're white, that doesn't make you a white supremacist. There's nothing wrong
racist
with you wanting the country that your ancestors built going to your children and grandchildren. There's nothing wrong with that. And only
that's your job.
That's the whole point of what we're doing here.
Yep.
Is the chain goes for thousands of years, hopefully. Hopefully America lives longer than other empires. Most empires that get like 200 and something years old. We're 250 this year. Now, the Romans, they hit like 1,100, 1,500, something like that. But, they're gone. They're just ruins. But she was saying how refreshing the freedom was in America. And
I would be, aside from children, I believe children should have to wear a seatbelt and wear helmets. My son wears a helmet. He knows, don't touch your bike or your scooter unless you wear your helmet. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I went to school with a kid named Sean Scruggs. He was 4 years old, running around a swimming pool. He fucking fell and hit his head, and now he shakes uncontrollably for the rest of his life. That stuck with me. And it was at fourth grade. Every kid, you got to be the student of the week or whatever, and you put your little poster board in the office, and you tell about your family and all this stuff. And he explained what happened to him, how that happened. And ever since then, at 9 years old, I read that, and that always stuck in my fucking head. So my kids, not my daughter so much, she's not so wild and crazy on the bikes and shit. But my son, that's non-negotiable. I catch you out there with no helmet, I'll take it away from you. Now, you 16, 17, 18, whatever, but you're 9. You're wearing a fucking helmet. That's it. But I believe adults, I don't care about adults. You want to ride a motorcycle with no helmet? You want to ride down the street with no seatbelt? I don't give a shit. But kids,
right.
You're going to be wrapped in a...
You remember being a child in the 80s and the 70s, you probably don't remember, but there weren't car seats. You just were on someone's lap, you're crawling around. I never wore a belt. I mean, those of you young watching the show, you didn't have to wear a belt. It became the law in the late 80s. There was these commercials here in Southern California. Yep. Click it or ticket, click it or ticket.
Yeah.
Dude, it was like 1988 when that became the law. Like, you didn't have to wear a belt. And when I was a child, 7 years old, 8, 9, I rode in the front seat. I didn't wear a belt sometimes. We're in the back seat. You crawling around. You're in the bed of a pickup truck. We didn't fall out. We didn't get killed. And
we ride in the back of the truck all the time.
I stood on the bumper of the truck and held onto the tailgate. Now, that was on my dad's property, not on the freeway. But, that all changed in the late 80s. We got all nanny state. You know what they passed along in California recently? Children have to have a car seat when they're little, and then they have to have these other augmented car seat-like things. I don't know what they're going to be or look like.
A booster seat?
Until they're 16.
What?
Until they can drive on their own. I think if their body's small enough, they have to have something extra for padding and tying them in.
There's no fucking way.
Go Google it.
I mean, I believe it because it's California. I totally fucking believe it.
Right.
But still, that's absolute fucking nonsense. Oh God. But yeah, that's how they want it. They want to control all aspects. They want to be your daddy and your mommy. They want you to come to them for your food, your housing, your security, everything.
Well, all this nanny state, there's a reason it's called nanny. It's the feminine. All of this nanny state stuff by the left is the feminine anxiety being uncontrolled. It's a woman out of control and no man to calm her down and make her feel safe and reassured. So it's like, kids don't play outside because there's a kidnapper everywhere. It's like, no, there's not. No, there's not. I walked to school alone when I was 8.
Oh,
When I
yeah.
was 8, I walked a mile to school with my brother to Westwood Elementary. We just walked alone. Nothing happened, ever. Do things happen in the universe that are bad? Yes. Almost never, though. And not to the point where we need to destroy society over it. I saw a thing where a lady had her son ride the subway home to teach him how when he was like 11. And someone called Child Protective and like tried to get the kid taken away or got him taken away. But she gave him $10, get on the subway, take this one, and get home. And then she got like rousted by the cops. When my kids were like 6 and 8, I think like that old, there was a Carl's Jr. 2 blocks from our house in Colorado. We gave them like $10 and told them to walk there by themselves, get some French fries, and come back. And we watched them. They didn't know. They walked down and we got in the car and like drove around the corner and we watched them. Like we just kept an eye on them, you know. So they, because they'd never gone alone but themselves like 2 blocks like that. And when my daughter found out we watched them, she was so mad because she wanted to be big and do it by herself.
Dude, imagine how that felt to them.
It felt like, well, my son, he was only 6 and he's a tough badass now, but he was a chicken when he was little. He was so relieved when he found out we were watching.
Oh, thank God. Mom, Dad, I've never been so happy to see you in my life.
Yeah.
But as a kid, you know, I'm sure Manny felt like I'm a grown-up. I'm out here in the world. You know, I'm unsupervised. I got money in my pocket. I got a mission at hand. I remember when I was in, I had to be in kindergarten because we were living in Marina and I didn't start first grade till we moved to this other town called Prunedale. My mom would give me 50 cents. I would walk to the Safeway and get a raspberry yogurt. They had with a plastic spoon. It got to the point where I'd walk in, my yogurt and spoon would be sitting right there on the counter. I'd leave my 50 cents, see you later, and I'd walk my ass home. But, and then when we moved out to Prunedale, Prunedale was very rural. All the houses had a 7-acre minimum. Everybody had a huge spread, long country road. And I walked 3/4 of a mile by myself down a long country road from first grade on. And I remember as a kid, when a car would come by, I would be on point. I would be alert. And if the car slowed, and it never happened, no one ever, hey kid, would help me find my puppy? None of that shit ever happened, but I was paying attention to my surroundings. If this car slows down, I'm dropping my backpack and taking off. You ain't catching me, a scared little kid. You ain't catching me. I'm running home. Never happened, never came close, but I was aware of my surroundings. And that's what I did. I'd walk, dude, down a country. I remember I had a neighbor. He was older than me. And every time he was late, he would come flying by on his bike and his pit bull would be running behind him. And when he was with the pit bull, sometimes it would come close to me and like snap at me. One time it was coming towards me. I jumped. I swear to you, I jumped in the air. I looked down and watched the dog run underneath me.
Wow.
He would ride down there. Inevitably, I'd hear the bus pull up so his dog had to come back. But without his owner, he was a little bitch. So then it was my turn. Then I'd chase that motherfucker. I'd kick him in his ass, that piece of shit. That started my hate for pit bulls. But as a kid, when you're put in situation, not even put in a situation, when your parents treat you like that, it makes you a little more mature. It forces you to grow up a little, not a lot. You're still a kid, but hey, I gotta be responsible a little bit.
Right. Children rise to the level of our expectations as parents. And when you have no expectations for them, they are man children and you know, woman children. They're grown children. You see it. It's an epidemic from millennials down. Just goobers that are 35, 40, and they're children still. They're picky eaters. They're lazy workers. They're professional victims. They're complainers. They're out of control emotionally. And it's because when they were supposed to be learning this stuff from their parents growing up, the parents are just too selfish, too self-involved, and it's bad, man. It's really, really not great. So, but I'm with you on those dogs. And I have a controversial opinion about dogs. I love dogs. I have 2. But they're small, medium. I have a basset hound. It's like 40 pounds. And I have a little weird poodle, and he's like, 15, 17 pounds. I think it should be illegal to have Rottweilers and all those. Absolutely. Unless you're in the country, you're unincorporated, you shouldn't be able to own that in the suburbs. Get the fuck out of here, dude. There are 37-year-old toddlers walking around. Fuck you and your fucking Rottweiler, your Mastiff, your pitties. My pitties wouldn't hurt. And then they eat a kid's face.
Fuck that.
You
nope.
Forever. Fuck people that want those dogs. No. It's like having a bobcat or a tiger. You can't have that animal. Sorry.
Yep. And the worst thing,
go move to the country, then you get your stupid dog. I love dogs. I have 2. Not that. I would never buy a dog like that. You're out of your mind.
Nope. And we're looking for dogs, and we're looking at on the shelter website, and like, oh, look at this one, and I could tell the face that it's a pit bull or pit bull mix. Nope. I said, let me save you some time. No pit bulls, no pit bull mixes. I fucking hate them. I don't trust them. I will kill them all. Don't even think about it. Don't even show them to me.
The problem with them is there's no margin for error. Are they going to be good and not eat the kid? Most likely, but if they go crazy one day, the kid's quite literally dead. They eat adults, these things. You hear it in the news.
What if the kid has
by her 2 pit bulls and they find what's left of the lady?
Yeah, they ripped her fucking face off and shit.
Her babies that she loved for 9 years, fucking eat her one day. Like, why the fuck would you own something like this?
I can't say fuck that loud enough when it comes to pit bulls. I have a new neighbor, of course. I have a new neighbor across the street. His dog some kind of German Shepherd mix. It's 100 pounds. It's a full-size fucking dog. He brings it out. He'll open the garage door and have it chained up, and it'll sit there when he's out there. But if somebody walks by, dude, it's not fixed. Sorry, having your balls, that means something. And I tell my son, if that garage door is open, don't go on. I said, matter of fact, don't go on that side of the street. Don't, because if something happens to you, I'm going to fucking put my shotgun in that dog's mouth, and I'm going to blow its fucking head all over the front yard. Don't. It's just not a good idea. Why do you have that fucking dog? He's like, it's my daughter's dog. Dude, put that fucking thing down. It is 100 pounds. Dude, it is a fucking animal. Dude, the shark, man, fuck that dog. I will.
Yeah, it's so selfish for people to have those things in a neighborhood. Again, if you're out in the middle of the country, whatever, But I go on 2 walks a day, noon and in the afternoon. I walk like 1.5 miles twice a day. And I carry a hard wood stick, like 3-4 feet walking stick that I bought. But and this is legal. You're allowed to carry knives and daggers and all that. Mm-hmm. I have a knife like this big, like an 18-inch steel, serrated, bigger than Rambo. And it is for dogs. Because I was walking my foot, and these jackass people like a mile from me, all the way down at the end, they have a fucking Rottweiler. And I saw the girl walking in, and she's a fat putz.
Dude, that's the worst thing in the world. You weak bitch.
So after I saw her and her dumb Rottweiler, one day, it was off the leash. And it was like 30 feet away from me, like looking at me. I went and bought the knife. That day. I attached it to my walking stick. Like, nope, you're not getting me. You're not getting me in my life.
I'll fillet that fucking dog, and I will go home with its blood still on me and sleep like a drunk baby. I don't give a fuck. I was on a walk one time. This lady had her dog off the leash because my dog, it loves everybody. It comes up about 25 feet away from me. The hair on the back of its neck is sticking up. Yeah. It's walking slow like this. I've seen National Geographic. I know what the fuck it looks like when a predator is about to attack. And I said, put that fucking dog on a leash. Why? It's not going to do anything. And I don't call women this. I could probably count on my hand the times I've called a woman a bitch. I said, bitch, put that dog, because I have my son with me. If anything happens to my son, I will fucking gut your dog in this walking path, lady. You don't fucking understand. There's no way in hell I'm going to let your dog get anywhere near my son. I will cut its fucking head off and not care. I'll put the head next to me in bed and sleep on it like a pillow, lady. Are you out of your fucking mind? And because you tell me it's a nice dog, I don't fucking care.
My baby. I'll cut the head off. Get it taxidermied, mount it on my wall with the little plaque that says baby in quotes.
My baby. And then I'll shove it up your ass.
His baby's
fucking kidding me?
No.
Gabe, I've never.
But, as society becomes more and more selfish and narcissistic, the people that have these monsters, they don't get it. It's like, I'm not going to bother explaining to you. You're fucking dumb. I have to explain to you why something that could eat an old woman or a child, you shouldn't have it at your house. I keep it in my backyard. I know you're not sicking it on people. It can escape. It can get loose. And
a motivated dog is fucking crazy. A motivated big dog is crazy.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh I've never actually.
It's coming after you and your.
Well, actually, it was a black dog too. So maybe it
Oh,
had self-hate.
black on-
It was a
Black
self-hate.
on black violence.
More black on black crime. And I was okay with that because I was going to 187 that dog right in front of that lady and whistle Dixie down the path. Now, I've never told you this. I don't know if I've ever said this, even on my channel, but I'm not going to get into the bloody details of it. But I grew up on a big ranch, 10.5 acres, pigs, chickens, dogs, you name it,
Right.
fucking Old Yeller type shit, right? Speaking of Old Yeller, it got to a point where my dog had to be put down, and I had to do it at 14 years old. And it didn't go as planned. It didn't go the way it did in my mind. I had to put my dog down. My childhood grew up since it was this little, rough and tumble. Come here, boy. My family dog. I had to put it down by myself because my dad, his cancer had advanced too much. His immune system was down. He couldn't be outside with the animals. I had to do it. So
What was
taking
his name?
my,
What was his name and what kind of dog was he?
it was a Queensland Heeler and his name was Bud.
Bud.
And he was old, he was sick, he was broke down. So walking up the hill with him to his final resting place, talking to him, having my final words with him, telling him how much I love him and fighting back the tears, and then having to pull the trigger. What do you think I'm going to do to some fucking dog I don't know who's trying to hurt my family? Are you kidding me? Right. Should I skin it in front of you and wear it? What do you want me to do? Because I'm going to fuck that dog up in the worst way possible and not give it a second thought as soon as I walk away. I had to put my friend down. I had to put down my friend. So to your pit bull piece of shit, man, please.
Yeah, should be. It should
man,
be illegal.
Please.
It should be. It's terrible. And I'm going to say another thing that's semi-controversial, but since I'm half Mexican, I can say this. What's up with Mexican people having Rottweilers and pit bulls? Is that like a tough guy gangster thing?
Black folks do that shit. Ghetto ass. Black folks do that shit too.
That's why I see it mostly like ghetto, gangster kind of.
Yeah.
That's what I see. And I feel like it's an insecurity tough guy thing. I'm tough. My fucking dog's tough. Raiders are tough. Like, that's how it looks to me. Like, oh, jeez.
Oh, fucking. That motherfucker.
I would almost show you a knife because it's right there. Then I realized, oh, we're not in my house. We're on YouTube. I can't brandish a weapon on YouTube. But
dude,
needless to say, it's a monster of a legal knife. So,
yeah, dude, and I don't want to. But if I have to, shit.
You know the weird thing about having a knife? Because I talked to the main attorney that is suing the California Attorney General to get us our gun magazines and our automatic guns. I talked to him because I'm part of San Diego Gun Owners, and we were at a conference together. He spoke right before I spoke, and I asked him about carrying a knife because he's an attorney, and I asked him about the gun stuff and all that. And the gun, you got to have the concealed carry permit, and you have to hide the gun. You have to conceal it. You can't tell anyone you have it. You have to conceal it with your mouth and your clothing, The knife, you cannot conceal it. You must have your knife out. You're not allowed to hide it. It's funny that the laws are reversed like that. So when I carry my big knife, I have it out, and I attach the holster to my walking stick. You know what I mean? So everyone can see that I have it. So if I put the knife in my pocket, the big knife, now that's illegal. You could have a pocket knife in your pocket, I suppose. But a big one, you have to have it out. That's weird that the laws are reversed. The gun, put it away. The knife, take it out.
Hey, so, good job. Good job, California. Good job, you retard.
Makes sense.
I also I have a family member of mine who's the deputy sheriff in our county. And I asked him, I said, because I was going back and forth about having a concealed carry permit. It's like $800. You got to go through the classes and all that shit. And I just don't believe that I should have to pay. Yeah, I don't believe I should have to pay money to carry a gun.
Down here, it's not. Down here, it was under 100.
Well, if you got a cool sheriff in your county, it's all gravy. But it depends on where you go.
I have a concealed carry. I'm one of the few Californians that does.
Right, but it should be constitutional carry in all 50 states. Yeah. I'm an adult. I'm not a psycho. Leave me the fuck alone. But I struggle with that. I don't believe I should. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I pay my taxes. I can do what the fuck I want. So I was asking him, I said, what happens if you get caught with a loaded pistol? He said, well, if it's your first offense, it's a misdemeanor. So then I was like, misdemeanor? And it's a California misdemeanor? They'll probably give me a blowjob.
Now, we're not lawyers. Everybody watches not legal advice. That's not what the attorney told me at the conference. He said the California communist lawyers and judges, the DA, they go after any gun person as hard as they can. They went after Trump and they just made all this shit up. He said in California, you fuck up with a gun, even unintentionally, said they throw the book at people.
Why?
Because they hate our freedom. They hate it.
But I'm sure they're going to say it's so you don't become a mass shooter. But if you're fucking with me and you're fucking with my guns, if I were inclined to that kind of behavior, do you think that's going to make me not do it or probably make me want to fucking do it?
Well, we do know they eliminated crime by making laws. That's why nobody does it.
That's right. And criminals, because criminals, they had to change their title because criminals, it means you're into crime. But if there's a law, hey, hands off. Just like California, you have to have a fin on the grip of your AR-15 so you can't reload it fast and be a mass shooter. Well, if I'm going to engage in mass murder, I'm not going to be like, hold on, what are the gun laws in this county? I'm not going to give a shit
if you're gonna
because I'm about to commit the ultimate crime.
Yeah, you're not going to care what the law about the type of gun you need.
And let's say I did abide by your stupid pinko commie bullshit. I can just train myself to drop the magazine and reload it even faster.
You don't have to have that surfboard fin thing. You do not have to have that. I'm not a lawyer. There's a company, and they manufacture these right next to Disneyland, like a mile away, called Juggernaut Tactical. And they have a thing that has a button on this side and the mag release on this side. When you push the button, the action on the gun opens like 2 millimeters, and that meets the legal definition of taking the gun apart. So I may or may not have a Juggernaut Tactical AR-15. I may or may not have shown it to you when you were at my house. It's completely legal. You buy them in California from a California company, and you avoid the stupid surfboard handle. So
that shit is so gay.
But the Juggernaut
thing,
thing,
gayest shit ever.
I've taken it to the range a bunch, easy to use. Instead of click and drop your mag, it's click, click. So just 2 clicks, 2 buttons, spring-loaded button. It's awesome. And they can't beat that one in court, the damn commies here in California, because it meets their definition of opening the gun, taking the gun apart. It does take it apart.
But if you were to sit there and train, you could do that double click in a fraction of a second and be right back on target.
No, you can't.
It's stupid.
Because it's click and your gun goes, and like there's a 3 millimeter, like you see light. Then you drop your mag, then you put your new mag, and then you slap the barrel of your gun to put your gun back together. You know what I mean?
How long would that take you to do that?
Well, regulars tap, drop, slap. So now you tap, tap, drop, slap, slap. So there's 2 slaps now. So,
but that's like a second and a half.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing.
So fucking stupid. California's so fucking gay. And I got to take a rod. I use a bullet when I'm at the range, but I got to push the button to drop the mag in my 308 instead of just pushing a button. Okay, so if I'm going to go out and be a psycho like you think I am simply because I'm a gun owner, well, then I'll just leave something sticking in there and I'll tap it and it'll drop the mag and I'll put it back in there and be back on target in 3/4 of a second, you asshole.
If you were such an animal that you didn't care about shooting and killing a bunch of people, which is despicable, you would just buy a regular gun. Because who fucking cares? You wouldn't care about the laws. You're a horrible murderer.
I'm a psycho. What do I care about your
care about the law? I remember the teacher told us in 9th grade to pick. She had like 10 controversial topics, and she wanted you to pick a side and write a paper about it. I'm 13 or 14, 9th grade. I'm 14. I don't know anything about guns. I don't know anything about the laws. I don't know anything about the politics, right wing, left wing. I didn't know. So I picked gun control because I like weapons because I'm a young boy. And at 14, I realized, and the way I wrote my paper was, and the teacher agreed with me because this is 1993, I came to the conclusion guns don't kill people. People kill people. That was the conclusion I came to when I did my research, looked at numbers, some books, and were like, well, the gun's an inanimate object, and the founders wanted us to have the right to defend ourselves, and blah, blah, blah. And I shouldn't be punished because someone's a bad guy. He should be punished. You know, why am I punished? It's like taking my license because someone drunk drove. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, I wasn't even there. Yeah, I've done many live streams here in my studio with a loaded pistol next to me on the desk, and not once did that gun jump up, look at me, and shoot me. And I loaded it. I racked around.
Not even once.
Left.
Not even once.
Not even. One time I thought I saw it move for a second, but it didn't turn in anything. So the gun didn't turn around and shoot me. It would take a human being to make the gun shoot somebody, I think.
Right.
I think.
See, I've had the dog people, the pit bull people try and tell me that saying they can't have pit bulls is the same as the gun argument. It's like, well, when my Glock 17 has 4 legs, eyeballs, and fangs, we can
And a
continue
brain of its own.
and a brain. Yeah, and when it has the ability to ambulate physically and a mind to control itself, then we'll have your idiot conversation about my gun being the same as your dog.
Hey, and I tell you what, if my gun is sitting there and it all of a sudden goes off and shoots one of my family members, I'm getting rid of the fucking gun.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
And there's not a one of us that support gun rights that would be for guns if guns did kill people on their own.
Could you imagine if your gun was just like one of those pit bulls where it could potentially fucking shoot you? Would you have it in your home?
People are walking by your house and your gun's barking at the fence. Your Glock is up to the fence.
Oh, fuck? Dude, if I brought home a gun, I was like, babe, statistically, there's a 50% chance that this gun is going to kill one of us. But can I keep it, please? What kind of moron would you be to be like, yeah, you can keep it?
Wildcat 420, he does point out the SIG. He does point out
the SIG will go off.
They've had a problem going off, allegedly.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
That's such a dumb argument. I have a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine, has a pit bull. I was like, dude, I'm not coming to your house. That's just, dude, you scared. Nah, dude, I'm cool. I've had too many bad experiences with them. I'm cool.
My Aunt Martha and Uncle Terrell always had they had an animal farm. They always had a bunch of dogs and cats. This is Aunt Martha. This is the one where I would go to their house. I could watch movies where I wasn't allowed to watch at home.
Mm-hmm.
My older cousins, Tim and John, they'd show me scary movies like Aliens. And then I couldn't sleep because I was thinking about the face hugger coming.
Good night.
Well, the face hugger is on the floor of the lab, and we were sleeping on the floor of the living room.
Yeah.
So I kept looking under the couch, looking under the dining room table. Like, I know it's coming. I know
you stress the fuck out.
I'm 8.
Stress the fuck out.
8 years old. I just saw the face hugger kill this guy, and I'm laying on the floor of their house looking under tables, and it's the middle of the night. It's dark. Oh my god,
dude, taking years off your fucking life, dude, with the stress.
But they always had big crazy dogs. They had boxers. They had a Rottweiler. And when my cousin John had his babies, they're 17, 18-year-old now, but almost 20 years ago, they were always going to my Aunt Martha's house because it's their grandma. They had a fucking bull mastiff.
Oh, 200-pound dog.
And I told my cousin John, why are you letting Jonas, as my nephew, a year old, why? Nothing ever happened, thank God. Why? Why would you let your mom babysit Jonas with that thing at the house? Crazy, dude.
Dude, if my kids went to play at a friend's house and I found out they had a pit bull, I'd be pissed that you didn't fucking tell me. Because if you did, my son would not go to your fucking house. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Man, get out of here with that shit. Those things. Oh, here's the best. Here's the best.
Baby.
No, the best pit bull argument. It's all about the owner. Those dogs just had bad owners. No, they fucking didn't. Pit bulls are genetically predetermined to be fucking violent. That's why they all look like bodybuilders. That's why they have lockjaw that you could beat them to death and they're not going to let go of your fucking throat. Man, don't give me that shit. Oh, yeah, it's the owner. Fuck
no, they have
here.
A personality and it's very violent. You know what other dog has a horrible personality? But they have, their attack level is 100, but the damage is 2. Chihuahuas. Chihuahuas are violent, aggressive, mean dogs, but they're wimps, so they don't hurt anybody.
They're 5 pounds.
I've never met a sweet baby Chihuahua. Every Chihuahua we meet is, every last Chihuahua we meet is a complete asshole. My Aunt Martha had a Martha with all the dogs and the Alien movies and all the stuff at Aunt Martha's house. She had a chocolate brown with a white belly and a white chin, little Chihuahua named Peevis Ann. Peevis.
She sounds like a fucking bitch.
It was piss and vinegar because she was real feisty. This little dog would snap at you and bite you and all this shit. And I was scared of it because I was only 8 when I met it. And it would attack me and it couldn't hurt you because its mouth was this big. I got a little older when I was like 10 or 11 and I saw it on the stairs. I thought,
now what,
and I fucking kicked it. I kicked it down and said, fuck you, little bitch.
This is for 5 years of straight torture.
I would never do that as an adult. I'd kill the damn dog. But 10-year-old me was tired of being bullied by a tiny dog.
Hey, man, I'm not saying to abuse dogs, but will I kick a dog hard enough to make it slide across the hardwood floor a little bit? Yeah, you're getting that, you little motherfucker, for sure.
And I had a special hatred for that dog. We're going to Aunt Martha's house. I'm like, oh God, Peeves is going to be there.
Let's go.
And
Let's
to fight
fucking
this
go.
dog for 2 hours. The little dog was a little fucking asshole bully, and I'm so glad. I hated that dog.
Then my uncle had a little poodle, a little toy poodle named Peppy. And it was like that. If you looked at my uncle, I was like, I still have a scar on my eye. I picked it up and it fucking bit me right here. Dude, I bounced that motherfucker right off the floor. But I'll tell you this, dude. Speaking of Chihuahuas, my best friend to this day, his grandma lived next door. Remember, everybody had a 7-acre minimum, so everybody had a huge spread, and she had 9 Chihuahuas, and they all had names like Tuffy and Missy. They all had these little bitch names.
Wait a minute, Mexican folks?
No, white is the driven snow. White is the driven snow, well, and she.
You know a lot of Mexicans. You grew up around them. They have Chihuahuas in enormous number. They love Chihuahuas.
Yeah. Well, she would rival anybody's pack of Chihuahuas in the Mexican community. She had 9 of those little pieces of shit. And as soon as you step foot on her property, here they fucking come. I hated every single one of those little pieces of shit. I was like, man, you got to come over to my house. I'm not going over to your grandma's house to deal with those fucking. I fucking hated them. But his grandma, she was the human version of a Chihuahua. She was a motherfucker. Ooh-wee. Redhead, mean as a fucking rattlesnake. But she was cool to me. Everybody, her family and all that, she was something else. But I was always, hey, Miss D. I was always, hey, how you doing? Oh, he's in there. But man, if those kids stepped out of line, I got to go home. See you guys later.
My aunt had that horrible Peevisan, the chocolate-covered Chihuahua, and she had a golden one named Tonsi. And then they had a kid named, I don't know, Chachi or something. And I was walking in the house, the big staircase in the front of my aunt's house, and Chachi, the son, was doing his dad Tonsi on the stairs.
Damn.
And
Come on, man.
I shoved him off with my foot. I'm like, stop that. The hell is wrong?
Fucking little homos.
And then fucking Tonsi got eaten by coyotes in the backyard. I found him out by the fence. His guts were open and the intestines were hanging out.
Oh, damn.
In Southern California, I was driving in my neighborhood like 2 years ago. There was a coyote in someone's front yard, and you'd be surprised how big someone was. But they're all over down here.
They're like 30, 40 pounds, dude. Coyotes are fucking and they'll make a sound like they're hurt to get a dog to come over there, and then there's a pack of them, they'll fuck them up.
Right.
They're crazy.
Poor Tonsi got gutted by coyotes. So.
Fucking Tonsi. You know what would have been funny if when you broke them up from banging each other, that the dad attacked you. Like stop.
I hate those fucking
leave them alone.
I had a friend in high
I can't
school.
stand
Look at this shit. I had a friend in high school, Remdog says, 2 Chihuahuas named Zeus and Apollo after the lads in Magnum. Jeez. I hate Chihuahuas so much.
I mean, but they're annoying. My hate for Chihuahuas is different than my hate for pit bulls.
The hate for Chihuahuas is amusing. They're so pathetic.
They're
funny. The pit bull, that's true hatred. Like, this is dangerous.
Yeah, because that's a real threat. That's a real fucking threat,
adults,
man.
Dude. They can kill adults.
Yeah, there was a story, I think it was in Ohio. This lady went to her friend's house, but she didn't know that her friend had a friend over who brought his pit bulls or something like that. Either way, these 2 pit bulls ended up ripping this lady apart, literally in the front yard. And the animal.
Well, I'm sure they were the sweetest babies.
Oh, you don't know? What do you mean? Like my kids, they pat them, they can pull on their ears and they ride them. Yeah, until it rips your fucking face off.
The pit bull losers always tell about pit bulls is, they were raised as nanny dogs to take care of babies. No, they fucking weren't.
Get the fuck out of here.
I've heard that multiple times. Just shut the fuck up.
No, they weren't. Why would you have something built like that to fucking nanny? That's why they were, you know what they were built for? They were built to hold on to some animal's snout until it fucking suffocated to death. That's what it was built for. It was built to dig after things that are hiding in fear from its jaws. Fuck that, and fuck you, and fuck all the pit bulls. And I wish that I get a text message to say, Jericho, all of the pit bulls in the world are dead.
Right. We would celebrate. You
heard about that None the Miser? Yeah, it was like in the walkway into the house, the fucking dogs just started attacking the woman, ripped her apart in the front yard, ripped this woman apart. The cops show up, the dogs got blood all on their face and shit. I would shot those goddamn dogs so quick, man. It was crazy, but oh no, that was just one incident. No, The dogs that bite people the most in America are pit bulls. Every 3 weeks, there's an attack by a pit bull, most lethal attack. And somebody tells me, no, actually, Jericho, they're golden retrievers. Well, who would you rather be bit by? A golden retriever? I'll take a golden retriever attack. I'll probably laugh during that attack. But a pit bull? Fuck out of here. The golden retrievers are on homeward bound. I ain't worried about no damn golden retriever attack.
Hold on. Look at another mine says the lady eaten by the pit bulls. Excuse me. That happened 10 minutes from his house in West Middletown, Ohio. And
yeah, crazy.
Adds, I worked with her nephew. We were at work when he got the call.
Crazy.
Well, I hope, God bless that family. What a nightmare of a way to lose a loved one. Hopefully her family sued that guy into so much poverty that his family will be poor for the next 1,000 years. And the dogs were destroyed by the police, hopefully. That guy went to fucking jail because fuck that.
Yeah.
Human beings are infinitely more important than any animal or creature on this planet. I don't ever want to hear about an animal's rights infringing on a human. Get out of here.
Yep. Hey, and I've none the miser. I bet when he got that call, he didn't say, but it's so nice. And the kids, this is weird. What?
Jeez.
Yeah. No.
You think we hate dogs the way we're talking? I love my dogs.
Just the violent ones. I
didn't buy horror movie monster dogs. I just don't have those kind. Jeez.
Come on.
Yeah,
man.
we went out. Speaking of like deranged bullshit. Oh, it's after 7. How much more time you got?
None.
You should have said, "Gotta go." Bye. It just logged out.
Yeah, just see you.
All right, we'll wrap it up there. That's enough ranting and raving. But
yeah, that was a spirited talk.
Yeah, it was. Guys, I love variant covers. Let me make myself big, then we'll bring Jericho in and we'll say bye. BigManComics.com. So we have one Ensemble Tyrus book. It's 128 pages, full color. You're gonna love it. It's so exciting, crazy action, insanely beautiful drawings. But we have variant covers, so it's the same book. You can get one, you can get two, you can get them all. Whatever you want. You love gorgeous art. You love insane action. The book's already done. They're going to print end of March or whatever. It's a 2-month campaign, January 20th to March 20th. All these beautiful covers. I did 2 of them. Philippe did 2 of them. Jackson Herbert did this one. I did 3 of them actually by inking Joe Bennett's on the cover. And the Joe Bennett cover, the first one I showed you, it's actually a wraparound cover. So this is the front of the book. This is a proof I got from the printer. This is the front of the book, and then this is the back cover. You see it has like the barcode for the cash register and all that. So this I love, this wraparound cover. We only have one type like that. We also have a 20-page art book. It's more magazine format. Black and white sketches, concept art, raw ink with no color, and a note from me about making art and my ideas about making this and stuff like that. You can pick that one up. Go there. We also have awesome T-shirts. We've been going 1 week. We're going until March 20th. BigManComics.com. You love this stuff. You love action. You love gorgeous art. You want to know more? BigManComics.com. And bring him back in, the Midnight Thunder himself, Jericho Green. Anything you want to add for the audience?
Yeah, man. Don't buy no damn pit bulls.
Let me ask you, unrelated pit bulls, back related to my comic. Have you and Junior started reading the Ensemble Tyrus?
We have started it, but we've only got to read it for one night. Tonight we're going to do it again because I was a little under the weather for the past couple nights. Okay. So we will be back in the mix tonight. He already asked me about it today. Are you feeling better? Yeah, I'm back.
He's excited for it, huh?
Oh yeah, hell yeah! And that that wraparound cover, I got to get that one because that would be a sick ass poster.
Oh, I'll hook you up with all of them. I'll hook you up with
in his room. That
would
be sick because he has. Sample. Well, he has the pictures that you sent us from the different covers of Tyrus. He has those in his room. So I think that full poster of that whole scene would be sick.
Yeah, this is a great one. This took me 3 days to just do the black and white illustration of the characters. I hired another guy to draw the background in ink, and then I colored it. This whole thing together was probably like 7 days of work just for this cover. Damn. So it's a beauty.
See, he gets the pictures. Everything. My son loves opening packages, so he usually opens them before I get home, and then I go in his room, and he has the pictures up there all crooked. I'm like, wait till I get home, man, so I can hang them straight for you. So this one, I'll make sure it's nice and straight in his room. Okay, but
no, we'll get you a box of everything. We'll get you the T-shirts. We'll get you all that. Oh, we can't go yet. Next Tuesday on this live stream, hopefully Tyrus' schedule works. Let me make this bigger. But Steve Cardillo, he's got 1 million followers on Instagram. He makes awesome weight belts for those of you that are weightlifters. If you get on the mailing list, no purchase necessary. If you buy a book, you're on my list. But if you just get on the mailing list at bigmancomics.com, you can win this one-of-a-kind, custom-made, laser-etched, unstoppable Tyrus weight belt. Isn't that awesome? That just goes perfectly with a guy like me that loves weightlifting, a guy like Tyrus that is a fighter and a weightlifter, the unstoppable Tyrus. You can win this weight belt. No purchase necessary. Just get on the mailing list, and it can be yours. I'm going to give that away next Tuesday on the air, live with Jericho. What I'm going to do is everyone who's on my mailing list, I'm going to put like a database of, 1 through 10,000, all the email names I have, and then find some software online or something that just random number generate one number. I'll go, number 7,328. You're the winner. That's Dave Johnson of North Carolina. What? He's a pit bull owner? Fuck him. We're going to pick someone else.
Next.
But yeah, one lucky winner. You will get this from me. And I'll throw in a signed copy of the comic. And the comics are not going to be printed until March, April. So you're going to have to wait. But you will get this. You will be the winner of the Unstoppable Tyrus weight belt. All right.
Oh, that's pretty fucking nice. That is very cool.
Yeah.
And take the money you were going to spend on a pit bull and spend it at bigmancomics.com. How about that?
There we go. All right, boys and girls, B's and G's, as I like to say. We'll talk to you later. Bye.